Hey, good morning, everybody. Welcome back. Nathan Ivey with you. A beautiful day in the neighborhood. If you live in the greater Cincinnati area, great to be alive. As always, it's my pleasure to be with you. Please take a couple of minutes to like and share today's show as we get started. This morning, I want to talk about disinformation in the Black community. Dr. Umar Johnson now defends Ice Cube. This Ice Cube story has legs to it, as they say in the media biz, meaning that people continue to talk about it. It continues to still be relevant. And there's been some interesting developments over the weekend. I want to keep you hip to the game. And my number one reason in doing so is because there's a lot of disinformation in our community, and I want to separate the facts from the fiction. I want to separate the facts from the fiction between what actually happened in that interview and some other things that are in the news right there, in the news right now, in which, in my opinion, are straight up attempts to try to disinform our community. And I just can't have it. I got to set the record straight this morning, family. Listen, if you are on Facebook, please like and in particular share today's show. Your shares mean everything. When you share the show, more people see it. We'll get started in about 90 seconds. Shout out to the choppers right now. Hey, good morning to you, Miss D. She was first inside the chop shop, followed by Pale Robeson and Clue Magic. Good morning, everybody. Again, please like and in particular share today's show. Warning, unfiltered Black thoughts. If you don't want unfiltered Black thoughts, this show is not for you. If you're sensitive from hearing straight talk from a Black man, then this is not for you. If you want to bury your head in the sand, you only want to hear politeness, this is not the show for you. So just tune away. That way I don't have to get messages. And I want to read a message to you that I received over the weekend from somebody who, in my opinion, I just described, very sensitive, and I guess they want me to keep it polite and lie to you, but that's not what I'm here for, family. This is the Nathan Ivey Show, powered by Sin Digital Media, and we'll get started in about 90 seconds. Don't go anywhere.
Nathan Ivey Show is supported by listeners. Go to www.patreon.com/Nathan Ivey Show and help Nathan keep the show independent.
Jill Schiller has been missing in action, and now we know why. Did you know that Jill Schiller, candidate for Hamilton County Treasurer, got away with a dangerous offense? Her friends and connections at Cincinnati City Hall turned their heads when she was racing through a Cincinnati public school zone doing 52 in a 20-mile-an-hour zone. She could have killed a child. As a mother of 3, that's concerning. 25,000 children are injured each year because of speeding in a school zone. 100 children are killed in school zones each year by people like Schiller. Schiller should have served 5 days in jail as the law states, but being privileged kept her out while you, the public, would have gone to jail. Her friends and connections at City Hall only fined her $60, and they quickly destroyed the evidence the next day. We cannot trust Schiller with our school children. Should we trust her to protect and safeguard our tax dollars? Vote for Charlie Winburn for Hamilton County Treasurer. We can trust him to safeguard our tax dollars and our children.
Paid for by friends of Charlie Winburn.
Are you interested in medical coding, but not sure where to start? And scared of wasting time and resources? Let me help you with the right steps to become a certified, marketable medical coder. Learn more at bit.ly/5stepscoder.
This is Zoe Wesson. What side of history do you want to be on? The right side, or one where Black people continue to be underrepresented in Hamilton County? Now's your chance to end 230 years of exclusion. In Charlie Winburn, we have a man that's received the Cincinnati NAACP President's Award, who fought on the Ohio Civil Rights Commission for 6 years, who received the Baptist Ministers Conference Community Service Award. Charlie Winburn has received the Southern Christian Leadership Conference Award and was honored by WDBZ The Buzz as Pastor of the Month. We know Charlie Winburn, and he knows us. He's the right man to put us on the right side of history. On Tuesday, November 3rd, vote for Charlie Winburn for Hamilton County Treasurer.
I am Charlie Winburn, and I'm asking you for your vote on Tuesday, November the 3rd, paid for by friends of Charlie Winburn.
You're listening to the Nathan Ivey Show. One man, one microphone, one mission. Now let's get back to the flow.
Hey, good morning, everybody. Did you hear that call? My microphone was left on purposely, and I just got a call from Miss Nettie. Y'all might remember Miss Nettie. That's been a minute right there. Hey, good morning, everybody. Welcome back to the show. Nathan Ivey with you. Hey, welcome to my home. It's my home studio where I do what I do. Good morning to you. Just got a call from Miss Nettie just as we were running some early ads, the pre-roll as they call it. And she was saying great things. She's like, somebody's going to hook me up with the internet, baby. And when they do, I'm going to be able to see you. She said a lot of great things. Miss Nettie, the real OJ Hancock. I mean, it's just so many people, man, that, you know, I was doing an early morning show in commercial radio. And, man, getting up at like 3:30, having to travel down to a studio that is not in your home. And you're doing an early morning radio program for the first time. In that particular radio station's history, they had never done a show that early, a live show that early before. And you're trying to break new ground. You need people that'll support you and lift you up, and just send messages and well wishes. That's your energy right there. Lets you know you're in the right spot. Hey, listen, let me take a second here because I want to make sure that I like and share today's show. Please like and share today's show. Your shares mean everything. Again, when you share the show, more people see it. It's real simple. And today I want to talk about disinformation in the black community. Dr. Umar Johnson is caping for Ice Cube. All these people feel like they got a cape for Ice Cube. Oh, we got 8 shares already. Thank you, folks. Appreciate it. Man, wow, I feel special. I'll take it. Thank you. But, you know, everybody feels, there's a lot of people that feel like they gotta defend Ice Cube because he basically exploited himself. And like I said, Roland Martin, I don't think Roland Martin was purposely trying to do it, but it happened on his show. He was asking the question. So Roland Martin exploited Ice Cube. Really, Ice Cube exploited Ice Cube, and he allowed himself to be exploited by the Trump administration. I mean, those are facts on facts on facts on facts on facts. I mean, you can say what you want to say, but, you know, it is what it is, family. Good morning to you. But it's been quite interesting the way that story is getting processed. Then after Dr. Umar comes out, does a video, and he says, well, people have been telling me I got to say something because all Ice Cube did was try to do something for his people. Well, who's against that? Nobody. I'll say it again, family. It's never what you do. It's how you do it. It's how you do it. And the way Ice Cube did it, it opened the door for Trump to use him like he was some kind of dancing monkey on the street dancing for quarters. I know some people out there that don't like it when I say that. That's why I want to say it again and double down on it because I meant what I said. Simple as that. You got to be smart when you're making moves out here. You might have the best intentions in the world, but best intentions don't mean best results. I mean, I wish we lived in a world in which best intentions automatically equated to best results, but we don't live in that world. We live in this world. And in this world, sometimes you can have the best intentions and get played. I was on World Star over the weekend. Somebody made a clip of that interview between Roland Martin and Ice Cube, and in particular the point in which Ice Cube was asked a question about, so what's in your plan that you now see in the platinum plan? And Ice Cube was like, well, I see VC dollars. And come on, man. What? Hilarious. And I got the Dr. Umar Johnson clip for you here. We'll play it in just a second because I think it's important to have a conversation. I want to say it again. We're 2 weeks away roughly from the election, and you're going to see all the disinformation tactics out there, family. And in particular, they're going to be focused on black voters. You, me, your mama, your daddy, your family members, your friends, your side pieces, your mother, your father, your brothers, your husband, your wife, your children. They're focused on the black community because once again, everyone, all the top political strategists are saying that it's going to come down to the black vote. It's going to come down to us. And that's the reason why the Russians and the Democrats and the Republicans and everybody's going to be focused on us, telling us all these good things we want to hear. Everybody loves black people right now. This is a holiday. All the politicians love us. All the parties love us for the next 2 weeks. And then we'll see what happens. And then we'll see. And all the disinformation out there. There are so many forces out there that don't want you to vote. And just think about what's going on right now. We've never been here before. These are amazing times. Never before have people been preparing for a presidential election. And at the same time, you got a SCOTUS nomination process or appointment process is going on right now with Amy Coney Barrett. Shout out to the Dope Chicks Collective. If you missed that podcast, they go live on Sundays at 1 p.m. They spent some time talking about how the appointment of Amy Coney Barrett might impact black women and what black women should do about it. It's very interesting. You should go back and check that out on our Facebook page, Sin Digital Media. Good morning to you. And I hope you're having a great weekend. Hope your weekend was fantastic. I had a super fantastic weekend. Life is good. Life is good. Oh, yeah, we found out something, family. This is so sensitive. So we found out over the weekend, or at least I found out over the weekend. Remember I told you we had a death in our family. It was a very, very close, personal family friend. sometimes there's some people that are so close, they're like family, right? You look at them that way. They're so close to you in terms of the impact of your life and what they really mean to you. That's exactly what this friend was to my wife and to our family. And she was a 38-year-old black woman, passed away suddenly. Literally, y'all, I'm not exaggerating. Literally, this black woman, 38 years old, was preparing, bags already packed, and in the morning, she was getting on a plane to go to Cancun for vacation. Literally, bags packed, the whole 9 yards. And she passed suddenly the night before. Just passed. My wife had spoken with her like 3 hours before she was pronounced dead officially. 3 hours before. So we found out this weekend, family, that she died of a heart attack. I want to say it again. That's the reason why I keep talking about giving my testimony and talking about what happened to me, because I almost died of a heart attack on February 2nd, 2020. 2020 was going to be a real bad year for my children, a very bad year. Yeah, the baddest ever, losing their dad. Had a heart attack. For folks who don't know, I'm watching the Super Bowl kind of casually because, it was just on. And I really wasn't paying that much attention to it. I was really, into the family. It was sort of like background music for us that day. And I'm eating and chilling, doing my thing. Had a pain in my chest that went straight to my back. I'm like, this is different. Never felt this before. And it wasn't what I would have thought was a traditional kind of heart attack. It wasn't like, you think of heart attack, you think of some kind of stabbing pain and then you fall out. It wasn't like that for me. For me, it was a very intense, but I wouldn't call it stabbing, and I felt worse pains, but a very intense pain that emanated from the front of my chest. And it was almost as if you could draw a straight line straight to the back of my chest, straight through like this. I'm like, what is this? I'm thinking it's indigestion or something else, right? Just wouldn't go away. Couldn't sleep the whole night. Couldn't shake it. I mean, literally couldn't sleep. No matter what position I tried to lay in, it just wouldn't go away. Finally, I said, bump it, man. I'm going straight over to the hospital. Drove myself. I really took an Uber to the hospital. At that point, my son was super, super sick. We think he had COVID-19 back in February. Kind of looking back at his symptoms. It's funny because I was going through some notes and found the notes of my observations of his symptoms. Because, when your kids get sick, you got to start writing things down. Start making a journal. That's what I did. I started making a journal of his symptoms so that, when we got to a situation, if it was an emergency, then we wouldn't be fumbling around in a mental fog. I could tell you exactly and specifically what went down, right? And anyway, so the wifey had to stay with him. I jumped in an Uber, went over to the hospital, and you could have knocked me over with a feather when they said you had a blockage. I'm like, what? 100% blockage in what now? I know I'm blocking a whole lot of BS out here, but what in my heart nobody could have told me that was going to happen. And your boy, as you're listening to me and hearing me right now, was almost up out of here, just like that. You know what I'm saying? So that's why I take every day as a blessing. I don't give a damn what the weather is outside. At least I can hear it and I can see it. I can touch it. It's a beautiful day. I get a chance to spend time with my family. It is a beautiful day. But anyway, going back to the situation, I don't know all the details about, because every heart attack can be different. But 38 years old, had a heart attack, just like that, was gone. Just like that. Take care of yourself. If you look at the statistics about black women and black men, heart attacks have taken us out the game. Taking us straight out the game. The game of life, that is, real life, not, some board game. So be careful. It matters what you eat. It matters what you drink. It matters the type of lifestyle that you're carrying, that you're having. It matters what kind of weight you're carrying. It matters the ingredients of your food. It matters. Be better than me. Don't go out like me, because I'm lucky to be here. Be better, family, because I want you all to be. I need every last one. You listen to this show, you rocking with me. I need you. And more importantly, your family needs you. You want to be here. Take care of yourself. This is going to touch one person out there. I can feel it. And if it does, that's great. Take care of yourself, family. I care. Okay? I'm here to tell you it happened to me. Nobody could ever tell me it was going to happen to me. Nobody. Right? Anyone who knows me wouldn't have told you that it would have happened to me. If it happened to me, it can happen to you. And you might not be as lucky as me. In hindsight, I could have died here in my living room. You know what I'm saying? I could have died here with my family, which, all in all would be the way I think I would prefer to go anyway, surrounded by my family, but in front of my son, in front of my daughter. in front of my wife. You understand what that would have done to them? Be better than me. Be better than me. Start today. Get that little 15-minute walk in. Start 7 minutes walk. Walk 7 minutes in one direction, turn around, walk 7 minutes back. Or better yet, walk 8 minutes in one direction, walk 8 minutes back to your home. You get your 15 minutes a day in and go up in steady increments and just do 30 minutes. People think I got to get out here and start playing basketball and running. You don't got to do all of that. Especially when you get in your late 30s and 40s and 50s and 60s. Your joints ain't ready for that. Just walk. They call it power walking. Just walk. Nice, up tempo kind of rhythm. Get you some hills in. Cincinnati, Greater Cincinnati area is fantastic with that. They got a lot of walking spaces. Get it in every day, family. Change your diet and hit your doctor up on a regular basis and be smart and intelligent about it. 38 years old, out of the game. Whoo, man, a lot of people don't live to be 38. And there's a lot of people listening right now that are way beyond 38. Way beyond 38. Life is a blessing every single day. Make sure you tell yourself that. Because I'm telling you, it could be just like that. One day you chilling watching the game. Next thing you like, what is this? Don't wait. Don't wait. 513-873-7134. Thank you for being here. Lots of stuff to talk about. Now, I do want to talk about Ice Cube because, I got some residual thoughts about it. And shout out to Miss Nettie. She gave me a call this morning. That got me super pumped up. Over the weekend, I got a crazy message from somebody. Crazy. Let me see if I can find this message. Yeah. I got this message over the weekend. You hung up on me, showed me no love. Done with your whack show, bro. Meet the emasculated eunuch. I'm like, what? I got this message over the weekend. I ain't making it up. You hung up on me, showed me no love. Done with your whack show, bro. Meet the emasculated eunuch. I'm like, emasculated eunuch? That seems like overkill. A eunuch, as I understand it, is a man who, don't have some penis or something like that. Set me right on that. So I don't know. Emasculated eunuch. Okay. So I got this. This was on a Saturday. This is what I'm doing. This is why I got to suffer, because I try to bring light to the people. On Saturday morning, I'm greeted with this on my phone. And so I responded, who is this? ? I got a response 2 minutes later. Truth be told is who this is. I ain't making this up. Truth be told is who this is. That's the best way. That's the way you put it, because truth be told is all capitalized. Is not. Who is capitalized. And then this is not. So you got to read it like, truth be told is who this is. So that's the way you put me to read it, I guess. And I responded, okay, sorry, I don't recognize that name. Have a good day, bro. Like I told you, life is a blessing. I don't have time for this nonsense. Whoever sent this to me, don't send me this nonsense to my phone. Are you losing your mind? Emasculated eunuch, whoever you might be out there. Don't waste your time sending this to me, bro. Just don't call anymore. Don't listen. I mean, just leave it that way. But of course, if you want to send a text message, there's nothing I can do to stop you. I guess I could eventually block you if it gets too irritating, but it's what you're doing on a Saturday? You waking up on a Saturday with me thinking about me? And I'm trying to think, who did I hang up on? Because typically I don't like to hang up on anybody, even if you become disagreeable. I'll just tell you, we're going to let you go and we'll holler at you later, bro. And then we'll just cut the connection. That's not the same as hanging up. Hanging up is you out. That's hanging up. That's not really my style. I don't really like to do that. Like if I hang up on you, you deserve it. You deserve it. Typically, I like to give you, because I know people get emotional and it's emotionally charged times we live in. I like to give people latitude. I invite you to the show. I don't want to be a bad host and then just kick you out unceremoniously for no reason. I would like to believe that's not really my style. So I didn't give it a whole lot of thought, but I'll be honest with you. On Saturday morning, I gave you some thought. I was like, wait a minute. I don't remember hanging up on anybody. Y'all remember hanging up on anybody? I don't remember hanging up on anybody all week long. That's not really my style. I don't need to hang up on you. You know what I'm saying? You know what I'm saying? Hang up on you for what? We could talk it out, whether we agree or disagree, and just leave it like that. You know what I'm saying? But I don't remember hanging up on anybody. Can y'all? It's been a while since I hung up on somebody. I mean, most of the people that call in, they got something to say. They about some realness. They don't really call in with a whole lot of dumb-ish. I mean, every once in a while we get somebody that wants to talk over you or whatever. But even in that, I'll give them some latitude, especially if they want to chop us. I'll give you some latitude. I will. I'm a good guy like that. You know what I'm saying? Don't take my kindness for weakness, because it's not weakness. But I'm a good guy like that. I really am. But I don't recall that. So maybe you can help me with that. Somebody said I hung up on them and now they done with my whack ass show. Oh, I get it. Listen, this might not be the show for everybody. I get it. My feelings are not hurt, not one bit. I understand completely. I really do. But who the hell, what man is running around here calling himself an emasculated eunuch? Hell, let me look up eunuch right now. What does that mean? A man who has been castrated, especially one employed to guard the women's living area at an oriental court. That's what I thought, a castrated man. So emasculated and castrated seems like it was like, a little overkill on that one, but okay. That's what he signed. I can only imagine a he, because women are not eunuchs, by the pure definition. So apparently this was a man that sent this to me. Maybe I'll screenshot this to you. Maybe I'll screenshot this and then send it to you so you don't think I'm just making it up. But whoever it is sent this to me on text message. And then apparently somebody I've been communicating with, I just didn't have their name in my phone, so I don't have a name that's associated with it. I guess that's good for them. The dude who was double dipping regarding Ice Cube, you talking about, that was Cam though. So why would Cam call himself the emasculated eunuch? He could just say this is brother Cam. So I don't believe it was Cam. That doesn't make any sense. I didn't hang up on that guy. I just simply said, I didn't hang up on you, Cam. That wasn't a hang up. You had already got on. I don't like the double dip, because now the show becomes about your personal feelings, and not just you, but anybody. It's personal feeling. I heard this and I ain't got time for that. You know what I'm saying? You get in. Next, if something happened, we'll talk to you the next day, unless it's of pressing news. And I don't want to close the door on it, because it might be a scenario when it just makes sense. But for the most part, I don't like to do that. I don't want to do that. I don't want to do that at all. All right. If you missed it, circle back around and check out the Is It Just Me podcast that goes live on Friday at 12:30 p.m. With Donnie B. Donnie spoke with Pavan Parikh, who is a candidate for probate court, George. Of course, we spoke with him here as well, maybe about a month ago. But I thought it was a very interesting conversation. And she gave her insights as to a couple of things: Kanye West and his political ad, and also the whole Ice Cube situation as well. So plug back in and check that out on Friday. Of course, this week coming up, tomorrow on Tuesday, you got two shows from Sin Digital Media. You've got the Midday Juice with Ask Ashley. You can send her your questions to oneaskshley@gmail.com, and she will answer them live over the air. And then at 7 p.m., the Valet Savers podcast with Fast Pitch. And this week, Fast Pitch will be talking about secrets. You ever kept a secret from somebody that you really, really care about? They say that honesty is the best policy, but if you're really, really honest with the people around you, let's say in a relationship, is that really how you keep a relationship together, being completely honest about everything? Should we be talking about secrets? I'll leave it like that for now and tell you more later, but should we be talking about secrets? What to tell and when to tell on Tuesday at 7 p.m. So stick around for that. Later on today at 12:30, myself and Donnie B are scheduled to speak with the school superintendent, that's CPS Superintendent Laura Mitchell. Okay, so that should be, I'd say, no more than an hour starting at 12:30 today, right? Very special time, very special broadcast. I know there's a lot of question marks as to, CPS and their plan to go back to a hybrid system, to have any in-person learning. As we understand right now, the numbers in Hamilton, the numbers in Ohio and in Southwest Ohio are going through the roof. The governor is sounding the alarm, saying that basically, is looking real bad in terms of COVID-related cases. I'm not sure how many people got a chance to watch 60 Minutes over the weekend, but they spoke with Dr. Fauci. I thought it was a very interesting conversation and one that's worthy of your time. There were some very interesting things that came out of that. Very interesting things came out of that conversation. Very interesting. Two things one thing that we already know, but it was interesting to see Dr. Fauci say it. One is the fact that the Trump administration has been blocking him from talking to the public. So he's the country's number one medical expert when it comes to COVID-19. And the White House doesn't want him talking with people. What kind of White House would do something like that? That's a White House that's built upon making sure that the president looks good among everything else. That's the most important thing to this White House, making sure that Donald Trump looks good. And from what I'm reading right now, a lot of voters, the polls are saying that a lot of voters are blaming Donald Trump for the way that he responded to COVID-19. And all I have to say is I'm glad to see it because he deserves it. He deserves to be blamed for it. He deserves it. Simple as that. Bravo, American voters. He should be blamed for it. It's his fault. And I'll leave it just like that. You know it and I know it. But man, it was some really interesting things that we got to talk about that 60 Minutes put out there. And I don't know about you, but I believe it. And this is the reason why I am the way I am about wearing a mask. And you've heard me talk about this as early as just last week. Wearing a mask, even when you're out in public and you're working out. Like I told you, I walk every day, right? All through the city. Sometimes I go on hour-plus long walks. I do it because it's heart healthy and it keeps me healthy and keeps me strong, right? And it burns me up as I'm walking through the parks. Primarily white people want to talk to you and say good morning. I don't want to talk to you with no damn mask on. Take your damn COVID-19 germs over there. Take your ish over there. I don't got time for you. I ain't talking to you. So if you see me walking through the streets, just ignoring white people with no mask on, then you better believe they deserve it. Hold on, get another message here. Oh, okay. Somebody sent me a message here. Somebody says, Nathan, don't bully Cam like that. He sent that pic of you to several of, I guess they mean us, suggesting your show lacks masculine energy anymore. Don't do the brother like this. What the hell? Who sent me that? Is that Fame? I think that's Fame. Oh, so that was Cam. Oh my God. Cam, what is wrong with you, brother? Man, will you call into this show so we can talk it out this morning, man? Come on, stop tripping, Cam. And I'm not talking about Cam Hardy. Okay. Cam, call into the show. We can talk it out live on the air, man. The hell, what is you talking about? And as long as I'm the host, any show I'm part of has lots of masculine energy. The hell is you talking about? Can you see? Can you hear? Don't do the brother like this. I didn't know that. I didn't even think that was the brother. Now this is just Fame talking, so I don't know if it's true. And that's what Fame is saying, that apparently it was Cam, aka the emasculated eunuch. What the hell, man? Stop. Please stop. Get out of your feelings. Get out of your feelings. We got too many black men out here in their feelings. It's not a good look. But anyway, so some very interesting information I want to show at you, but I'm pulling up some graphics right now so it can sort of graphically illustrate the point that I want to make that was made on 60 Minutes last night. And look, if you're mask conscious, what I'm about to say to you and show to you, you should be mask conscious. If you're mask conscious, even when you're out in public, because a lot of people think like, well, I'm out in nature. It's okay not to wear a mask, right? That's how Gilligan's act. That's okay not to wear a mask. No, Gilligan, wrong. You should be masking up everywhere you go. So the information that came out last night on 60 Minutes in that Dr. Fauci interview, and here's a graphic straight from that, was that what we've been told about the spread of COVID-19 is not exactly correct. What we've been told is all you got to do is be at least 6 feet apart, and all the COVID-19, and again, this was sort of a graphic, a little video they put together, and of course, this is a screenshot. Last night, it was actually a video, and it shows like what happens when people are talking or expelling these particles out of their mouth. And what they found out, the new information, is that 6 feet is not enough. That's the new information. 6 feet is not enough. The particles from a human being's mouth can travel up to 12 feet. This is an uncovered cough. Not 6 feet, but 12 feet. Apparently, these particles that leave or it can be expelled out of the human mouth when sneezing or coughing, and I would say even talking in some levels, can travel much further than what they're telling us. So we need to be even further apart, not 6 feet, but 12 feet apart. And what they said last night is that the COVID-19 in the air can be sort of like smoke particles. And just like smoke particles can kind of like travel a long distance in the air, so can COVID-19. And guess what, family? It just makes freaking sense. It makes sense. And the whole point of it is that a mask can have a huge impact when people are sneezing, coughing, and I will say talking and breathing from preventing it. So that's someone with a mask on right there. See how it sort of like localizes it, all of the potentially deadly particles. This is without a mask. This is with a mask. This is without a mask. This is with a mask. This is without a mask. This is with a mask. So it goes back to what I said about these folks that want to talk to you with no mask on. I don't want to talk to your ass. Keep it moving. I ain't shaking your hand. I don't want to talk to you. I'm not going to say good morning. I'm going to keep on walking. I know some of these folks are, hey, Negroes. Oh, he ain't even say hello. I don't know you. I'm not trying to get COVID to be polite to you. I got children. And you don't got no mask on, all these heavy breathers, math breathers. Yeah, you're jogging and things like that. These bicyclers, put your freaking mask on. Not only are you going to lessen your exposure, you're going to lessen our exposure from your ass. About to curse there. The science is quite clear. The science is quite clear. Quite clear. I'm talking about 60 Minutes last night. They had Dr. Fauci on. I thought it was very interesting. And they also asked him about, this whole anti-science thing that's going on. I thought his response made a lot of sense. He's like, you know what? There's a lot of people out there that look at science as an authority. And there's a real move, a real push to be anti-authority right now. So people just equate the two together, like, by succumbing to science, then somehow they're succumbing to authority. I thought, you know what? That makes sense. That's why you had these folks running around here talking about, I ain't gonna wear no mask. Because the mask represents authority to them. It's bigger than science. It's bigger than a mask. They're rebelling against authority. It's on some 1776 type ish. You will respect my authority. No, I won't. That's how they responded to it. I'm like, the light bulb went off. Like, oh, yeah, that makes sense. I can get that. I can get with that. I understand it now. It still don't make a whole lot of sense to me. But I get it. People feel like, I don't want to be under the yoke of the government and all this kind of stuff. Okay. I get you. I think I can understand more. More things I want to share with you this morning as I set the story. Did you hear that, Donald Trump, now this is after the news broke that the governor in Michigan was the target of a white supremacist, but a white male militia group. And their plan was to kidnap Gretchen Whitmer, white female Democrat governor of Michigan, possibly kill her on some jihad type stuff. Okay. And let me see here. Oh, okay, great. Sorry about that. I'm not perfect. Appreciate it. Possibly murder her and then try to take over the government in Michigan. That's what they were going to try to do. That was their big plan, right? So after this news broke that the FBI had broken this whole thing up, your president, my president, our president, he goes to his rally and he starts talking ish about this woman, making light of it. Lock her up, Chance. So wait a minute. Isn't that sort of making it seem like it was okay and that this white male militia group in fact, had a good reason to have an issue with Gretchen Whitmer. This dude is crazy. But you know what? I was talking with a family member that made a lot of sense over the weekend. We was talking about all this politics, and he says something that I think is true. And I felt that anyway, and that is some of these folks out here that these white folks primarily that's acting all crazy right now. They all in Bolton and these Karens and these Darrens and the white militia groups and the Charleston folks, the Charlestown folks, all the white supremacists with their tiki torches. Man, these folks they wanted to do this no matter what. A lot of people are misreading this saying, oh, Trump is causing this. Trump he's just a puppet. He's just the guy who happens to be out in front. He's the so-called leader, if you want to put it that way. He's the guy that's out front. You know, just because you're out front don't mean you're necessarily the leader. All these folks, the QAnon folks, man, these folks was going to do that no matter what. They was going to do it no matter what. These white male militia groups out here that want to kidnap Democrat governors because they have a stay-at-home protection order or because they have an anti-mask policy or a mask in public a mandate, they wanted to do this ish anyway. All these white supremacist groups, and now we're seeing that there's more activity and their voices are getting louder. They wanted to do this anyway. They're just using Trump as the latest excuse. That's all it is. You know, whatever happens in November is going to have no impact whatsoever on what these kind of people do. The QAnon, white male militia, Trump till the day I die folks, whatever they were going, people said, well, if Trump loses, it's going to be a civil war. Whatever, they're going to do whatever they want to do no matter what. It don't matter whether Trump wins or loses, family. Now, I would have to advise you to keep your eyes open in these last couple of weeks leading up to and on and right after Election Day, because, you know, in the world of these white male militia groups and in the world of these homegrown, you know, domestic, primarily white terrorists, because that's what they've been. If you look at it, from the Oklahoma City bombing to what we see today, I'm calling this matter in there, and Antifa, which shows a lot of ignorance about what those groups are really all about if you want to. But over here, we know what time it is. We're going to keep it real with you. But in the age of all of this domestic terrorism, I'm advising my listeners to keep your eyes open, keep your head on a swivel, understand where you are, who you're around at all times, okay? Because Trump is only he's just the guy out in front. He's just the latest accelerant. But the motivation for what these groups and people are going to do, that was way before Trump. It wouldn't matter whether Trump was in the White House or not. They still want it. You know what I'm saying? Like, in their mind, they feel like Trump is talking to them, but they want to do this goofy stuff no matter what. So keep your eyes open, family. I'm here to tell you. Let's go back to the phones. Good morning and welcome to the show.
Good morning, Mr. Ivey. This is your West Side Connection. The one and only, the undisputed, the number one, uno, dos, tres, cuatro. You know who it is. Top Squad 52. How you doing, sir?
I'm doing excellent, man. Welcome to the show.
Thank you for having me. Your topic is excellent. The misinformation of the black voter. Mr. Ivey, the black voter has been misled. They have been bamboozled. They have been led astray by the desperate Democrat Party. That 80 to 90% of registered black voters have been putting their faith in, have been trusting in for the past 60 years to give them everything that they have been promised by the desperate Democrat Party. And where are we right now? We are dragging a young, successful black man by the name of O'Shea Jackson, also known as Ice Cube, America's most wanted in 2020, with 15 days to go before the most important election in this country's history. Hell no, it ain't. It's just another election, Mr. Ivey, where the desperate Democrat Party cannot win without 93 to 95% of the black voters to go and vote. And right now, Mr. Ivey, with all this shakeup in the black community, on old black media, on new black media, all caused by Ice Cube putting out a contract with Black America. Now,
Not
just
true.
a minute ago, Mr. Ivey, you
Not true.
said that there's always somebody behind, like you said, Donald Trump is not really, the issue. It's always forces and people lurking behind the scenes, the big curtain, pulling the strings. So, Mr. Ivey, the question I have for you, sir, we all know Ice Cube did not write the contract with Black America. We all know that. That's not even in question. So, Mr. Ivey, who's really behind this effort of Ice Cube? Because you just mentioned Dr. Umar Johnson was told by his thousands of followers that he must speak. You had Roland Martin making an appearance on MSNBC on Saturday, promoting not only his podcast, but also promoting himself as a possible voice in the black community. Because he kept saying, I told Ice Cube, I've been saying. So like I told you on Friday, Mr. Ivey, Ice Cube ain't new to this.
Yeah,
Ice Cube been shaking stuff up forever.
But he is
so he knew. Okay, I'm sorry. Okay, I'm good now. I was on a roll, Mr. Ivey. I'm practicing for something, sir.
Oh,
and I'm practicing.
What you practicing?
I'm practicing, Mr. Ivey. I appreciate your show, and you know why I mess with you, because you real, and plus you archive all of your shows. So, Mr. Ivey, my voice, my flows have all been a process to get better. Because when I was a referee, Mr. Ivey, the only way you get better as a referee, you must watch yourself. You must study game film. You must correct any bad things that you do, even if it's something that no one else can see, but only you see it and you correct it. But Mr. Ivey, I just want to ask you a couple of questions real quick.
Sure.
And that is, who do you really think is behind Ice Cube and this push with the contract with Black America?
Well, as of right now, I really believe that it was Ice Cube. I take the man at his word. I think that he was moved by the death of George Floyd and decided that he wanted to do something and get political. That's what I think his motivations were. To this point, he hasn't really revealed who the other people that he's been working with and some of the scholars and or elected officials. So we don't really know. There's no way I can draw conclusions. So I would have to take the man for his word. And I take his man for his word when he said that, he's new to this political thing. He's been a rapper. He's been rapping about things that happen in politics, but that's not the same as trying to get policy done. He's been a businessman and entrepreneur. So I take him for his word. I think Ice Cube is behind it, but I think that he was naive and he allowed himself to be played by the Trump administration that is always looking for a situation to exploit for the benefit of Donald Trump.
Okay, or for the Republican Party, because like you just said, Mr. Ivey, this is bigger than Donald Trump. Donald Trump's only been in office for 4 years, but Donald Trump has been a major cultural figure for the last 40 to 50 years. Okay, so again, we all know that the Republican Party and the Democrat Party have been around forever. So all of this stuff that we're talking about now, with a little over 3 weeks to go in the election, that tells you that everything is politics. And again, Mr. Ivey, he was on with Roland Martin again on Saturday, I think, with the lady that's the head of the Black Lives Matter movement. And if you listen to them talk, or you listen to her talk, she sounds just like Jesse Jackson and Al Sharpton, which I hate to say, they're race hustlers. And when you have two black people, which again is what I mean by the black divide, when you have two black people or two black groups who are out for the same result, which is the betterment of the black community, but one chooses to do it from the Republican ideology and the other chooses to do it from the Democrat ideology, which idea do you think is going to survive the longest through fundraising, through books, through lectures? Which group is going to, I mean, the Republican Party doesn't have that many African Americans in it. So the Democrat Party is a powerful party with the black vote. But without the black vote, they will never win an election again unless they replace those black votes. And right now, they've only had to worry about losing 5 to 8%. But with what Donald Trump has done, now this may not be permanent for the Republican Party, but what Donald Trump, the man, has done, who was a cultural icon before running for president, he's getting the ear of a lot of young black men to listen to his ideas, which are not really accepting in the Republican Party right now. But Trump knows that all he has to do is do the conservative part, which is appointing all these judges, which he's done. So, Mr. Ivey, what I'm saying is, sir, the lady that was on with Roland Martin, the leader of the Black Lives
Alicia
Matter
Garza.
program. Huh?
Her name is Alicia Garza?
Yes, that's her name. I'm sorry, Alicia Garza. Yes, she was basically, her and Roland Martin are mad at Ice Cube because they jumped the line.
Nah,
and I'm like,
I don't think that
the only way it's a line is if the line is a whole line full of race hustlers and poverty pimps. Who cares who's in line? Who cares who gets the big chair at the table?
Nah, that's a cynical way of looking at it. If you're looking at it, that's a very cynical way of looking at it. I mean, I can't tell you that the conclusions you drew in your own head are wrong. But it's a point of view
that is worth discussing.
But
don't call it cynical, Mr. Ivey.
Let's discuss it.
Just call it a point of view.
You
don't have to attach all these adjectives to it.
Let's discuss it then. So, as I watched it, now I wouldn't say that. Like I said, Roland could have roasted Ice Cube that night. He could have roasted him alive.
Roland used Ice Cube. Nate, stop saying that.
He didn't use Ice Cube. He did what media platforms did, especially black media platforms. He gave the brother an opportunity to talk it out. And I think that Roland was very fair.
Ivey.
I mean, looking at myself,
Mr. Ivey.
I don't know if I would have been as critical. I don't think that Roland was very critical at all. He was very fact-based. He kept it very objective. And I mean, that's to his credit. You know what I'm saying? Because again, Ice Cube opened himself to be roasted alive that night by not being able to articulate anything about anything that really mattered. You know, man.
Okay, so Mr. Ivey.
So you put you put your celebrity. You basically allow yourself to become a tacit endorsement for Donald Trump, and you didn't get anything out of it whatsoever. And you still sitting on TV talking about, well, I did this because nobody else did it. And then you got somebody on TV on the panel that was there 3 years before you and has done more than you have. And you still sitting there talking about, well, I told everybody what they're going to do. He could have been roasted alive. He's lucky that Roland was nice that night and was really on some, I'm just going to try to educate my brother type of stuff. So that's what I hear. And then with Alicia Garza, I didn't hear anything that she said that was wrong. I mean, everything she said was right. You know what I'm saying? I mean, I didn't say it. Okay. I didn't say that. So if everything she said was wrong, then what did she say? I mean, was right, then what did she say was wrong? I didn't hear her say anything that was negative toward Ice Cube, that was factually not based, and or that anybody else in her situation wouldn't have said to that brother. She could have been more critical and harder as well. She was really nice as well. Okay. If you really go back and look
Mr. Ivey. Okay, I hear that, and I'm sorry if I was trying to jump in because when me and you talk, I'm gonna have to start taking notes because I'm starting to adjust to your tactics. When I get you in a certain spot, you'll start talking. So you're hoping that I'll lose my train of thought, but I'm not gonna do that.
Brother,
this
you're
time,
reading
Mr.
way
Ivey.
too much into it. That's never in my head. I want you to keep your train of thought so we can have an intelligent conversation. That's the last thing on my mind. Okay, that must be what you're thinking. Okay, so that must be your. You must be projecting. So now I know your tactics.
Okay, now here's my question, and I didn't write it down. I held that train of thought with all this 60 years of data running around in my brain. But here's my question, Mr. Ivey. On the interviews that Ice Cube appeared on Chris Cuomo on CNN. He appeared with Roland Martin twice. Roland Martin appeared on MSNBC talking about those interviews. You have talked about it twice, 2 days on your show. Now, Mr. Ivey, all those things I just mentioned, nobody talked about the contract with Black America. Roland Martin kept focusing on the Platinum Plan. And I'm waiting for all these interviews. I'm scouring YouTube and Twitter. Where's the contract with Black America? All these people are doing is trying to destroy Ice Cube because he had the audacity to talk to someone other than a Democrat. But nobody's talking about the contract with Black America, which is what Ice Cube said is about economics for Black people, not people of color, not minorities, Black people. ADOS, American Descendants of Slaves. So, Mr. Ivey, I'm assuming that you're going to pick some segment on your show and you're going to put on the screen the different elements of the contract with Black America, or maybe you'll just drag Ice Cube for the rest of the morning. That's cool.
Already done it.
So, okay. I didn't see it. Did I miss it?
Yeah, you must have missed it. Yeah, had it on the screen and everything on multiple shows. Hey, but drop.
All I saw was the Platinum Plan.
Oh,
okay, all right. I'm hanging up. Thank you, Mr. Ivey, for giving me the time. I've made my point, and thank you for allowing me to be the first caller. Drop Squad 52, droppers. I got you to anyone who wants to catch it. Peace out.
Appreciate you. Yeah, I've done it with all the plans. Put them up on the screen, bullet points, went through it, talked about it. I think it's worthy of more discussion. And again, I think Ice Cube plan, as I said, when it first broke, I mean, the day it broke, we talked about it in some detail here on the show. And even talked about a history of Black agendas in the United States, right? Which is an ongoing conversation. So again, I give anybody props that's out here trying to do something to elevate people, including P. Diddy. P. Diddy has the Our Black Party. Sat down with Charlamagne the God from the Breakfast Club. It's all over YouTube and social media. Now, going back 3 weeks ago, P. Diddy was on some we ain't gonna vote stuff. We're going to hold our vote hostage. I don't know what's happened between then and now. Maybe it was a month ago. But now P. Diddy, the man that 15, 20 years ago gave you vote or die, is giving you the Our Black Party. And I want to know what you think about P. Diddy's effort. He also came out and endorsed what appears to be Biden. How do you feel about P. Diddy and the Our Black Party? Now, we've been saying it over and over again, and I said it here on this show, that the most revolutionary thing you can do is to start your own party. And it looks like that's what P. Diddy has done. Are you aware of it? If not, I've got clips for you. We can talk about it. This is the place to talk about it this morning. Let's get into it. But first, let's go back to the phones. Good morning. Welcome to the show.
Hey, brother. How you doing this morning?
I'm doing great.
Hey, this your angry black Republican, Marcus.
What's up, Marcus?
Hey,
welcome.
And I really liked your flow about your heart thing there, man. I take my aspirin every day, my half of aspirin to deal with that. So people really need to be informed about that. You can leave about it here anytime.
Absolutely, man. Now that's your Twitter. That's your Twitter handle, isn't it? Angry Black Republican.
Right.
Okay. Why are you so angry, Black Republican?
Primarily because, I was a Democrat precinct exec at one time. And, this was just back in the late 80s. I came back from the Air Force and, all of a sudden I look around and all the vocational schools are shut down. I'm starting a business. All of a sudden all the Black businesses are being attacked. And, as a precinct exec, I brought this up at the new election of a chairman. And the next thing I knew, I was under serious attack, brother. I mean, serious attack by Democrats. But it didn't bother me because I had a real estate company at the time. I wasn't into computer systems and everything. So, I just do whatever I wanted to do in terms of real estate. They couldn't touch me. But I messed around and got hurt in the Gulf War and came back. And brother, the next thing I know, they was trying to put me in jail for any and everything. So I got out of this only because I was a wounded warrior, because, basically this Republican white woman heard my lawyer going off. So she rescheduled me and made sure I got in front of a Republican magistrate. And that magistrate actually knocked my child support down, knocked everything down, so that basically, I wouldn't go to jail. They were trying to hook me up for a felony. Because if you miss like $300 in payment, you become a felon. And you got to understand, this time I was paying like $1,500 a month. So all I needed to do was miss 1 month, and I was a felon.
Okay. So you're angry black Republican. I get it, man. Let me ask you real quick, did you vote for Trump and or have you voted yet? And are you planning to vote for Trump this year?
I'm gonna vote for Trump, because most people don't understand that Trump is doing what he's doing so Biden doesn't get that crowd that he thought he was owning in terms of the white extreme. So basically, Trump is just planning the way that Obama played us. And then on the thing with Ice Cube and them, it's been so long that we should have this going on. But the problem is, if any black man even steps out and says, hey, let's consider something else, you get attacked like I did when I stood up on the stage and said, what's going on with the vocational schools being shut down? Democrats, we running everything. What's going on?
But that's not what happened with Ice Cube, though. Angry black Republican. That's not what happened with Ice Cube. People aren't criticizing Ice Cube because he dared to speak with Donald Trump, per se. That's not what I'm picking up on it. People are criticizing Ice Cube because he allowed himself to be exploited 2 weeks before the election by Donald Trump, and he didn't get equity policy or tangibles. He didn't get anything out of it.
But the thing about it is, we have gotten things out of it already. The First Step Act, the programs for investing in our community, the black colleges got more money than they ever got. And I listened to Roland Martin, and he is full of it, bro.
That's not true about the HBCU. Yeah. Really, I think there's some factual errors in everything you just said, but in particular, the HBCU thing is not true. The HBCU.
How is that?
Well, I'm just saying, from a fact standpoint, the HBCUs are not receiving any more money now than they received under Obama. In fact, as I understand it, the levels are the same.
No, that's not. That's absolutely not true.
Absolutely true.
He increased it by.
No,
I'm sorry. Did I cut you off?
No, I'm still here, and I'm not going to cut you off either. But that's not true at all, Marcus. You should go back and check your facts.
I'm telling you, man. I've seen the numbers that in terms of the school. That's why the presidents were backing him like they were. Now, I saw Roland Martin had a president, but that one president, well, it was two of them, they were saying that like, okay, well, he did raise our money, but Pamela Harris wrote a letter saying that, he should do that. And I'm like, how stupid is that? The woman won't even, the Black Congressional Caucus won't meet with the man, but all of a sudden some black or Asian or Indian or whatever the hell she is today.
I think that's the other way around. I think the Trump administration won't sit down and seriously meet with and or take into serious consideration to pass any of the ideas that come from the CBC, the Congressional Black Caucus. You got that completely turned around, brother.
No, bro. They wrote the man a letter saying that nobody will meet with him when he first came out.
That's not true.
They wrote him a letter.
I don't remember any of that, man, but it sounds like that's something you really believe, so we'll leave it like that.
No. If we communicate a little better, see, I could send this stuff to you, and it won't be, any problem as it pertains to is it legitimate or not. The fact is that, look at the brother who was getting ready to talk to Trump about the Justice Act and getting rid of that stuff. What's his name? They took his show off. He had the best show on TV.
Who was that?
Give me a second.
Steve Harvey?
He was a comedian.
Steve Harvey?
Yeah. They took his show off because he was getting ready to go up there and talk to Trump. But then they was trying to take off his other show.
Who is that?
these people at the companies, the liberal owned media companies.
Oh, okay. So you think they got mad because he was meeting with Trump to try to get policy passed for black people, and then decided to take his show off the air?
They did. I mean, look at Roseanne Barr. I mean, they got her too. She makes a small comment about some woman who looks like the Planet of the Apes, and they take off the show that's making more money than any other show at the time.
Yeah, she made a racist comment about Valerie Jarrett, comparing Valerie Jarrett, a black female, to some of the Planet of the Apes characters.
And that woman looked just like her. And that's the thing about it. Comedians do that.
They didn't cancel her show. They took her off the show. The show continued. It was the Roseanne reboot. And they took her off the show because, so you think that she shouldn't stay? So she should be able to make racist comments and still stay on her platform?
But that wasn't a racist comment. She made a viable comparison. So that woman looked just like that in makeup.
So Marcus, are you not aware of the history of white supremacists trying to downgrade our humanity by comparing black people to apes, to monkeys? Are you not aware of that?
Yes, I'm aware of that, but she was not. She didn't even know what race this woman was. And hold on.
So you are aware that there's a history of this, and if you're aware of it, and I'm aware of it, that means the people over at ABC were aware of it. So when she made that racist comparison, that was it. You got to go with your racist ass. Period.
But she didn't make a racist comparison. She was making a joke about the woman.
Well, I mean,
the fact that the woman was saying all these negative things about President Trump, and when you put these two pictures together, they look just alike. I mean, I say 80% alike, and comedians do that. But the fact that they would kill that amount of money, because the show crashed after that, brother.
Well, of course it did. Of course it did, because she was the star.
Right.
And she was to blame for it. And she later apologized for it, belly aching, on homemade videos. I saw her.
Right, but she wanted her money back. But the problem is, when you keep looking at what's going on in terms of the media, where we have this situation where if you a black male coming into the industry, you basically got to play a homosexual. That's it. Because I saw a brother who just got through off a show called, I think it's in Chicago. It's called Shy, where he wouldn't get into a relationship with a transgender male. So they killed him off. But then the dude on The Wire a long time ago, he said the same thing. Like they wanted him.
Well, you know what them dudes should do though, right? You know what they should
do?
They should start their own.
Right. And I'm agree. And brother, that's what throws me off when you have Ice Cube and all these other people saying this stuff. These dudes got millions. I mean, even Steve Harvey and the other cats, they could all get together and do what y'all doing. But I can't understand, why do they not have the courage to do that? They don't make so much money. There's only so much money you could spend,
I can't tell you. Maybe they will.
Because I'm just lost here. They have all this money, and like I said, they forcing brothers to either be homosexuals or they can't get parts. Because and right now a black woman got to be in a relationship with a white man.
I get you.
Because if you look at,
I get you, Marcus.
Black is it? No, go ahead, brother.
No, I was saying I understand where you're coming from, brother. I got to move it along and get to some more calls and some other flows. So, anything else?
All right. No, that's it, brother. I thank you for your time. I'll give you a holler another day.
Yeah, most def. Appreciate it. That's Marcus, a.k.a. Angry Black Republican. He sent me a friend request, I think, or somehow I came across it. That's actually his Twitter handle, Angry Black Republican. So Drop is drawing the Republicans out to the show. I appreciate it. We need more Black Republicans to call in, because we need to hear that perspective so we can kind of dissect it and try to make some sense of it. On the make some sense of it meter, I'd say that phone call was somewhere between like a 5 and a 0, but that's just me. That's just me. There's a lot of disinformation out there. Again, it's a whole lot of disinformation in the Black community. Keep your eyes open. The trolls is out. Be careful about some of these Facebook groups you in. Be careful about who's starting these Facebook groups. Know who the admins are and what they really all about, because I'm telling you, the games are afoot. They're trying to influence us in the 11th hour as we get ready for this election again. And to all the smart dumb cats who don't get registered, you don't vote, why would they, and there's separate forces out there, some national, some domestic, some foreign, why would they try to influence our vote if our vote didn't matter? Let's go back to the phones. Good morning. Welcome to the show. Hello.
Good morning.
Good morning.
Hello?
Yeah, hello.
What's up? Yeah, Nate. What's up, man?
What's up, man? You sound real muffled. Who am I speaking with?
This CJ.
CJ?
Yeah.
What up, CJ? You sound real muffled, man. You got a mask on or something, or are we on speaker?
Yeah, I'm on my Bluetooth.
Is there any way we can come off the Bluetooth, or are you driving right now? Something like that? It's not a good reception.
Is that better?
What up, CJ? He said, is that better? His Bluetooth. Yeah, Bluetooth, I know how it is. You driving this morning. Listen, if it's a choice between you calling me and driving unsafe, drive safely. And we'll talk another day. I want you to be safe and get from A to B, whatever you got going on this morning. You know, you might be on your way to work or doing whatever you got to do. So be safe this morning, and maybe you just listen. But just Bluetooth speakers, there's all different levels of environments that people are in and different levels of, you know, the types of quality of the reception you're going to get. Generally speaking, whether you're on the internet or terrestrial radio or satellite radio, it doesn't really matter. But you're calling in, you know, on a good phone line, not on speaker, not on Bluetooth, is pretty much the way you want to go. Maybe CJ will call us back. Hey, good morning. Welcome to the show.
I say no, CJ.
Oh, okay.
How you doing today?
I'm doing great. Yeah, it's not CJ. This is Fane. What up, brother Fane?
Oh, you the man. I'm just visiting. You know,
what's up?
Nothing. I just wanted to talk about you kind of bullying that guy that sent you the message.
I don't think I was bullying him at all, man. You talking about emasculated?
Yeah, you were. No, well, he called you that. He wasn't saying that's who he is.
Oh.
He was calling you that.
Oh, he was calling me. I misread it. I thought he was calling himself that. I'm like, whoa.
No, he just because you know, like somebody said in the chop shop, you know, he sent that to several people.
Oh, did he?
Yeah.
Did you get it?
Know,
did you get the message?
Yes, I did. And I said, why did you say that? I say this. I trust me. You have no bigger defender of your show than me.
Right.
Let's just get that out there right now.
I know that. I know it to be facts.
Thank you. Now, he said that, and I'm like, well, why do you feel like that? And, you know, he went through his reasoning, you know, I mean, you know, said some things, and I just kind of listened to him, with just kind of his shoulder and kind of told him some things. And, you know, and that was that. But I just looked at it. He just had a disappointing and, you know, dissatisfied phone call with you, and you come back Monday trying to bully him. Like, come on, Nathan, don't do that.
Listen, to God, on my life, I didn't know who it was.
You ain't got to do all that.
I had no idea who it was. I just thought it was interesting and wanted to share with the audience. I didn't know it was Cam because I know Cam. Cam and I have communicated on a whole bunch of different levels. He could have just sent me a message. I just figured he would have sent me a message saying, Nate, I'm mad at you, bro. And then we just leave it like that. So I thought it was somebody new. And they were referring to themselves as the emasculated eunuch. I mean, that little description is so far from my reality. I didn't even think that maybe he was calling at me, saying that was me. But if that's his opinion, man, I can't change it. And hopefully he'll get out of his feelings and you know, get back on
that
straight.
That right there, that jab right there.
What
hopefully
jab?
he'll get out of his feelings. That ain't necessary, man.
It is necessary. It's the truth.
No, it's not. You ain't got to do all that.
I don't
you
have
ain't gotta
to,
do
but
all that.
I choose to tell the truth.
He ain't in his feelings.
He ain't in his feelings.
I mean, you know, like there's times when you disappoint me on the show, but I don't necessarily. He's just handling it a different way. You understand?
He's handling he's in his feelings, man. That's what they call it these days.
No, you ain't got to diss the brother. Man.
I'm not
You're better
dissing the brother. I got nothing but love and respect for Cam. If that's who it really is, But that's what I'm
But you're
seeing.
saying
I'm
he in
seeing
his
a brother
feelings.
in his feelings. Because if he wasn't in his feelings,
Man.
if he wasn't in his feelings, he just would have sent me a message during the normal lines of communications. We text back and forth many, many times. So if he wasn't in his feelings, he just would have said, hey, yo, Nate, this is Cam. Bro, I got a bone to pick with you. And I would have picked up the phone and or responded in a respectful manner. I would have said, hey, bro, I want to hear it out. But he called him some emasculated eunuch. I'm like, whoa, why are you calling yourself this? So I thought he was in his feelings or something.
So were you in your feelings when you were trying to argue with me all day about Ice Cube yesterday?
No.
You had discussed it on your show 2-3 days earlier, and then I posted about it on my Facebook page yesterday. Didn't even mention your show, just gave one sentence about how I felt about the thing.
No.
And you going back and forth 3 and 4 times with me. I didn't say on my podcast, hey, Nathan, and this black host here, Nathan Ivey, is in his feelings about Ice Cube.
But you know why you didn't say that? You know why you didn't say that? Because I didn't give you a reason
Because that ain't my game.
Because I didn't give you a reason to, and that is your game.
Yes, you did. Yes,
no,
you
I
did.
Didn't.
You were the only person commenting.
Okay, I wanted to keep the conversation going on your page. What are you talking about? You put a question out there, I responded. I wanted to be a conversation starter and share my opinion with you. That's it.
But notice, okay, I'll accept that as your reasoning, as an articulate, opinionated, and smart black man. You know, that's what you do. You like to start stuff on people's pages, and I don't have a problem with that. I'm not going to say, the black talk show host was in his feelings on my page, y'all.
Right, because I didn't give you a reason to, and I didn't call you an emasculated eunuch and call you all out your name or anything like that.
Call you that. Nathan, he didn't call you that, man.
You just said he called me that.
Okay. You're right. I'm sorry.
Right.
I don't. What I meant to say was I defended that, but what I'm saying is, I just don't think you need to go at the brother like that.
I'm not going at the brother like that. You just brought it up. I
feel like when I hear you talking about another black man like that, I feel like I'm 20 years old again. Actually, I was 19. My birthday hadn't happened yet. I feel like I'm watching Bash at the Beach 1996.
Well, now you know how I feel when you talking about Cam Hardy. Cricket.
Cam Hardy?
Yeah. When you
Cam Hardy, the guy who uses gay slurs.
Now you know
the guy who calls the gay community gay slurs, but he's running for council. The guy who does the white man's bidding unabashedly. You talking about that Cam Hardy?
I don't know about no white man's bidding.
No neck, black grimace.
Oh, there you go. I feel like Bash at the Beach now.
Yeah.
So now you know how I feel.
Nathan, take it easy on your brothers.
I'm not
for
going
him to send you. No. Let me say this. Let me say this in closing.
Go ahead.
For him to send that to you tells you that he gives a F about your show.
Right. You're right about that.
And you went out and you went out and played him.
I didn't play
and
anybody.
I think you owe that brother an apology.
I don't
in front of the whole audience.
I don't owe no apology.
Hey, listen though.
I'm listening.
It's been real. I had fun.
So did I.
I appreciate hearing all the callers from your former commercial network. You know, hearing either them referenced, as in Miss Nettie from beautiful Lincoln Heights, and Marcus Jenkins, who I've never met. You know, I don't know. I know about the incident he is infamous for, but I've heard his calls over the years. I take him for what he is. You know, another articulate black man with an opinion.
Pretty much.
Whose opinions just kind of go against the grain of traditional black thought. I appreciate that.
I do too.
He sounds like a prime candidate to join the alt middle. Don't make it be 4 of us. You niggas in trouble.
Man, again, think about the children, man. I'll leave it like that. He said, don't make it be 4 of us. There ain't no apologies coming. For what? If anybody deserves an apology, I'm deserved an apology. And that man is a hypocrite who just called in. How dare you gonna try to check me about what I'm saying about one Cam, but you always disrespecting Cam Hardy for no reason whatsoever. You got a personal beef with him, man. You need to let it go. Cam Hardy is gonna do big things for Hamilton County and the city. I can see it already. He's gonna do big things for our community. Y'all see what I got to deal with? Y'all see? You see? See? But it comes with the territory. When you step in the arena, this is what happens. is what happens. Good morning. Welcome to the show.
What's up, Big Nate? This CJ, man.
Hey, what's up, CJ? You sound so much better, man. Welcome back to the show.
I know, man. All right, brother. So, yeah, Big Nate, I watched the video. Interview, both interviews with Ice Cube, man. I watched one with Roland Martin. I watched the one with Chris. I forgot his last name.
Como.
Yeah,
Chris
Como.
Mm-hmm.
And basically, all Cube is saying, Big Nate, is that he wants us as a people. He would like us as a people to have a plan instead of being exploited by not just Democrats but Republicans too.
I'm with that.
And it seems to me that he is on some type of rant. I don't know, but he showed pictures of black folks being used as furniture, with white folks sitting on them and riding them. And he showed that to Chris, and I'm like, okay, Q, like Q is new to this whole spectrum of this political spectrum. He's new to this, like you said earlier in your opening. He is just a rapper. He's been rapping about it, but actually doing and working and doing the work, yeah, he knew. He just getting his feet wet, but he knocking home runs out the park. He got great ideas. I just want our people to just give him a chance. I don't want our people to bash him, because he said that he never went to holler at Trump. He said both sides hollered at him, and the Biden campaign said, we're going to talk to you after the election. The Trump campaign, he said the Trump campaign told him, we would like to take some of your points out of your plan. And Cube is looking for capital for black folks in a nutshell, because he sees that we get the short end of the stick as far as the wealth gap in America. So he's attacking that. He don't know that he's attacking that, but that's what he's attacking. He's attacking the wealth gap in America, because he's talking about capital. He's talking about venturing with corporations and politicians, because he wants us to finally have that equality. He said it pains him every night he goes to sleep that we get that white folks get, white families make $200,000 a year and we make $200 a year. Like, that was just the example that he used as far as the wealth gap. So I'm listening, Big Nate.
Hey, CJ, listen.
I'm listening.
Let me give you my flow on it, man. Everything you just said about Cube registers as true in terms of his motivations and what he thinks the problem is of Black America. That's not where people are criticizing him. There's nothing wrong with him starting an agenda. I said it since when Donald Trump got elected on this show. I said in front of everybody, look, if you get a call from Donald Trump, he wants you to come to the White House and talk policy, go to the White House and talk policy. Now, don't go up here and be like one of these dancing black preachers and punk out for a photo op. But when your number is called and they ask you a question, tell them what time it is. Tap into your inner Eartha Kitt. Obviously, you have to work with whoever is in power. That makes sense. That's not where Ice Cube went wrong. Where Ice Cube went wrong was the timing of it. We're 3 weeks before an election. You can't allow yourself to be a campaign prop for the Trump administration, and he didn't get anything out of it. The Trump administration got a chance to go on Twitter and go on social media and tell everybody, we working with Ice Cube. We work with Ice Cube trying to legitimize their plan with the overall intent and focus and try to get black voters to vote for them and or to not vote for Joe Biden. They got that. That's something they got right now. Cube didn't get anything out of it. We got nothing out of it to this point. No equity, no policies, no tangibles. Cube is well-intentioned, but he was naive in what the Trump administration was really trying to do, and therefore he allowed himself to be exploited. I can tell the brother's proud and intelligent and smart on a lot of levels, but in this scenario, he allowed himself to be played by the Trump administration. The reason why the Biden campaign told him probably, and I'm just kind of spitballing here because I can't tell you 100%, I wasn't in that meeting. The reason why they probably told Cube, like, look, we'll get with you after the election is because logistically, two things. Number one, Joe Biden is not an elected official. He's not the vice president. He's not a senator. He's a private citizen running for elective office. He can't do nothing for you right now until after the election. Then we can talk about it and we can see what we can do in the future. To me, that seems much more real and much less about exploiting someone than what the Trump administration did, because they know they don't have no real time to institute no policies in the next 2 weeks. But they use this brother and his celebrity for their political campaign to make it seem like Ice Cube was for them. And that's what the real issue is. It was the timing of it. It's politics. You got to play chess, not checkers, Cube. Keep doing what you're doing, man. But understand there's a reason why Trump said, yeah, we'll talk to you, because Trump wanted to use you, as he does everybody.
So you said timing of it.
Yeah.
So the timing of it. So if he would have took the plan to President Obama, you think he would have got some traction?
Well, I mean, Obama ain't even in the equation. So let me add this. This might be a better question. Tell me what you think about this.
I'm just speaking on timing.
But
like if he would have did this 10 years ago.
But let me put it this way.
You think? Yes, sir.
Let me put it this way, CJ, because I think if I put it this way and I frame it this way, it'll give you another way of judging what I'm saying. So let's say this was instead of being October 2020, let's say it's October 2019. And Cube, same scenario, decides he's going to start a black agenda and start working with the Trump administration. To me, that's different, because you're not in an election campaign cycle, and now you got a whole year to see what can actually be implemented. So I would look at it differently. The timing plays a big part in the whole exploitativeness of this whole situation.
Effective enough if some of the points get implemented.
But none of the points are being implemented. That's the whole point.
Right. Okay. Yes. Well, hey.
Right. I mean, even Ice Cube was like, well, let's see here. Even he couldn't see where his points were being put in the platinum plan. So the only thing that happened, CJ, is that Trump got tens of millions of dollars of positive press in the black community. That's the only thing that happened. That's the only transaction that happened with the media, with everybody finding out that Ice Cube had been having conversations, with the Trump campaign. Nothing else happened. Black folks that get anything, Cube didn't get anything. That's it.
Be that flame, that spark, that thought of, you know what? Yeah, we begin played by both sides. Let's start our own part.
Now enter P. Diddy, our black party. He just kicked it off this past week. So maybe that's where P. Diddy comes in.
You don't want no hip hop, no type of hip hop guys that don't have any type of political training to even speak. What is Chuck D articulated what Ice Cube is saying or trying to do? What would you say then?
I would say the same thing. I think it's great. It's a good idea. I say the same thing if it was Chuck D. And if Chuck D allowed himself to be exploited like Ice Cube did, I would criticize Chuck D the same way. I mean, because at the end of the day, it's not about my opinion. It's about, do we get equity, policy, and tangible? Like, what do we as black people get out of this? And as I look at it right now, we didn't get anything out of this transaction. Trump did. Cube got nothing out of
I
it.
don't think the
Black community got nothing out of it either. So what, CJ?
I don't think the transaction is even finished yet.
Oh, but it is. I mean, a transaction. Think about this, man. A transaction means I give you something, you give me something, right?
Yeah.
Okay. So what did Cube get out of it? What did black people get out of this transaction, this communication between him and the Trump campaign?
Big Nate, cricket's over here right now.
Because
I'm waiting to see. Cricket's over here right now because I'm waiting to see.
As black people always waiting to see. So we ain't got nothing out of it.
Of all the press that IQ paid for it, I think he paid for it to come on there. He paid for it. I'm waiting to see all this money he spent to try and help his people because that's and the bottom line, he's trying to help. He's trying to get capital in the pockets of black folks. He tired of being poor and poor scenarios, poor situations, poor thinking.
That's a beautiful thing. That's a beautiful thing. I'm for that, man. But like I said, you can have the best intentions and still get exploited and played. And the power, these people that work in the halls of power, that work with Trump, they're not dumb people. These are very smart, intelligent people. They can see somebody coming a mile away that has good intentions, but really no knowledge of the game. And they will exploit you and use you for their benefit. And that's what happened with Ice Cube. Now, this is just the start. I think he'll learn from it.
I'm going to vote locally. I'm not going to participate in the presidential but I'm going to vote locally.
Okay.
But yeah, man, because I feel like America could have offered up something better, but we had that conversation already. So I want to send you a video also, Big Nate, and I want you to tell me what do you think about it.
Okay.
What the sister said. Did you hit the MREC TV?
To what now?
MREC TV.
I don't think so.
Are you? Okay. Yeah. So he is you in New York.
Okay.
You is the black MREC here in Cincinnati. You keep us up on what's going on, what's around, what they're saying, what they're thinking about doing. You do that for us. You keep us aware and alive with your awareness.
Absolutely, man. So just send it to me, brother. I'll take a look at it.
Okay. I sure will. Thank you, Big Nate, man. Have a good day, homie.
You too, man. That's CJ chiming in. Appreciate the flows, man. I appreciate the conversation. Again, you could be anywhere in the World Wide Web, but you're here with me this morning. If you haven't already done so, please take a second and like, and in particular, share today's show. Please share today's show. When you share the show, more people see it, especially on Facebook. And that's primarily where this show, the video is being, we're on, YouTube, and that's a growing platform there. You could look for Sin Digital Media to have its own page, its own channel where we'll curate and broadcast all of our podcasts, and looking forward to that as well. But until then, I mean, primarily people are checking the show out on Facebook and, of course, on our audio platform, which is Spreaker and iTunes and Google Play. And I mean, you name it, wherever people listen to audio, infotainment, entertainment, information, and news, you can check out the Nathan Ivey Show and all the podcasts with Sin Digital Media. So appreciate that. All right. Please take a second to like and in particular share today's show. All right. I'm not in every Facebook group. I'm sure there's a lot of really super cool Facebook groups out there where people got big audiences. Please share the show to those platforms and those Facebook groups so people can, get hip to the flow this morning. I really appreciate it. We talk about people, politics, and pleasure, in particular, black people, black politics, black pleasure on a daily basis, kicking off at 7:30 a.m., approximately Eastern Standard Time. And typically we'll go for 2 hours to about 9:30. And in most cases, we go to 10 a.m. And you can hear interviews on this show, a lot of local interviews. I'm based in Cincinnati, Ohio. So I talk about what's happened in Cincinnati and Hamilton County, in Ohio in particular. But, of course, these conversations have no borders. So we'll talk about whatever's popping, quite honestly. And hopefully you can get into the flows this morning. You're always welcome to call in at 513-873-7134. And, we can always agree to disagree. Let me give you a heads up. We are still a partner with Shanghai Imaging, and we are developing a brand new podcast. I'm calling it a relationship podcast, or we are calling it a relationship podcast at this point. But I'll be honest with you. This podcast is way more. It's much more than a relationship podcast. And we are looking for an opinionated female relationship podcast host. If you're interested, you can send me a direct message. And what we'll be asking is, we've got a lot of interest so far. And what we've been asking is, and what we will be asking is for all of the potential hosts to make a video for us, no longer than 3 minutes, telling us about yourself and telling us about an interesting or entertaining dating experience that you have had. So 2 factors to it, or 3 factors, no longer than 3 minutes. We're looking for a video. It doesn't have to be anything that's a big production. It can be as simple as a video on your phone. In fact, that will do just nicely. And tell us 2 things. Just tell us about yourself and why you think you'll be perfect for a gig like this and to be the host of a show like this. And then also tell us an interesting dating story or something that happened to you interesting in a dating sense. All right, that's it. No more than 3 minutes. And what the idea is that we're going to put all of those videos up on our Facebook page on Sin Digital Media and allow you, the public, to essentially vote as to who you think should be the next podcast host. So looking forward to that. It's going to be a lot of fun. And again, that podcast is not a normal relationship podcast. I keep saying it. I'll say it again. All right. That's going to be something quite different and new. I've never seen anything like that we're developing right now in the podcast market. It could be, but I haven't seen it. And that podcast will be a live stream podcast. And we anticipate a lot of interaction. So looking forward to that. And very soon we'll be looking for sponsors to play a role in that podcast as well. So if you're looking to get visibility, for your business, that could be a platform for you to get visibility for what you are doing. All right. In particular, we're going to be looking for people who, in particular, but again, it'll be open in terms of sponsors, but we're looking for people who are restaurant owners, maybe you own a bar. And you know me, we own some Black-ish, so we're looking to work with Black-owned establishments. And it could be a very interesting and new way for you to get visibility on your restaurant, on your bar. I know there's a lot of people that own those kind of bars and restaurants, those kind of businesses. You might be struggling right now to get people in the door and, again, to get visibility about what you have to offer. This is a way that will certainly do that for you. So if you're interested, you can send me with a direct message. That's a little down the road, a few weeks down the road, in which I'll really start hitting that hard. But if you're interested, send me a direct message and we can talk. Again, Shanghai Imaging and Sin Digital Media are looking for an opinionated female relationship podcast host. At this point, we're looking for one female, a very talented female who can host a relationship podcast show. And it would work best if you are based in the greater Cincinnati area, because there might be a necessity to do some travel, maybe. And we're looking for someone who can stream live from wherever you are. Okay, that means you've got to have the ability to have, high quality internet access. Wi-Fi is cool, but if you've got the ability to plug into your internet with an Ethernet cord, again, we'll walk you through this process. And maybe even make an investment to make sure, if it's for the right person, we're willing to invest on multiple levels to make sure that, wherever you are, fits the environment that we envision for that podcast. And it's a very, very serious endeavor. We're promoting this right now on Facebook. So you might see a sponsorship, a paid promotion of this, or you might see it in some of those different Facebook groups. If you know someone who you think is good for it, and we're perfectly describing that person, then please let them know, and you can have them directly message me. Again, that's the first step. The second step, I'll reiterate it, is we're looking for you to make a video no longer than 3 minutes. We don't want to get into those 5 and 6 minute long videos, because we're going to watch every second of every minute of every video. So 3 minutes will do. Tell us about yourself, why you think that you would be great to be the host of a new podcast of this nature. And of course, we'll give them more details. And also tell us an interesting dating story, something interesting that happened, an interesting story as it relates to dating. Okay, that's what we're looking for. And then we're going to take those videos, put them on our Send Digital Media Facebook page, and then allow you, the audience, to vote to help us whittle down to, I guess, the person who will ultimately be the host of the show. Okay? Just want to make sure, give you a heads up on that. Looking forward to that. Should be a lot of fun. Should be a lot of fun. All right, let's go back to the phones and welcome in Black Russia. Good morning, Black Russia. How you doing, brother?
Hey, I'm doing well, Conrad. How are you?
I'm doing great, man. I'm doing great. Welcome to the show.
Hey, thank you. Hey, I got to send a shout out to my all middle brethren, Fame Rothstein. Hey, his show, for real, that Lomachenko-Lopez fight, I'm not sure if you saw that fight, but it was a very hype fight. And if you would listen to Fame Rothstein, you could have made a lot of money this weekend because he called that fight for the underdog, Lopez.
Mm-hmm.
And he took Lomachenko to school.
Mm-hmm. I didn't watch the fight.
I ain't never been, you ain't watch it, you need to watch it. It was a good fight. But, you know, I don't know if you have been watching Lomachenko since he came into the fight game, but there's some dude, he's 32 years old, he done had like 400 professional fights. It's like, how can you be good if you didn't have that many professional fights and you 32? And he's just been getting pushed up through the ranks from my perspective. And Lopez, I like the way he talks. He's from Brooklyn. I think he gonna be a superstar. Like, I think he gonna be Floyd Mayweather type superstar.
Oh, really? Okay.
Because he know how to talk. Hey, yeah, he know how to talk to the media. He know how to use the media. You know, he's Hispanic American. He's born in America. He's 23 years old. He's the undisputed lightweight champion in the fight game. That's big. They ain't had a lightweight undisputed champion ever. So it's going to be good to watch him. But Fame Rothstein called that fight. He had you straight to the money line. And you could have made 5 or 7 times even with your bet if you'd have bet on a knockout or the decision. So I want people to, hey, this show, if you're acquiring shows, you might want to check that show out. I became a believer on that one show. I've been watching it, but that one show made a lot of money.
Mm-hmm. Oh, yeah, I'm a believer, man. I support Fame 100%. I've talked Fame already know how I feel.
What's up?
I said I've already talked to Fame. He already know how I feel.
Oh, okay, yeah. I wanted the audience to know too, because I'm like, hey, he on YouTube and he's doing a good job. He's really thorough in watching the games, and I appreciate him because I've been trying to watch the line too.
Anything else,
but
brother?
Yeah, I can't believe y'all killing Ice Cube. I can't believe it.
Who's killing Ice Cube?
I watched it. I think a lot of people are. I think Roland Moore, yeah, he tried to fake get at him a little bit, but he didn't really go too hard on him. But for people who think he's selling out, I think Ice Cube, if the Republicans want to meet with him the day before the election, I'd have told him go meet with them before the election. And the Democrats telling them no, we can't accept that at all.
What?
I don't care how Republicans try to spin me meeting with you and say, oh yeah, Ice Cube endorsed that. They can say whatever they want to say. Ice Cube out here saying he ain't giving out no endorsement to them. But that's what politics do. They spin this stuff. But Ice Cube, he's absolutely doing the right thing by getting meetings. Democrats told him no, wait till after the election. That's not acceptable.
Well,
especially when you got the other side saying we'll be with you right now.
Well, Black Russia.
You got to take that meeting. That's my perspective on it.
Okay.
As a business person and trying to get policy across, regardless of whether he's an expert or not, nobody gets at LeBron James when he's out here trying to push certain politicians about whether he's an expert in policy or not, or Kim Kardashian going to the White House to get people out. But why are we doing this to Ice Cube?
Well, the difference between Kim Kardashian, let's back up here. So when Kim Kardashian was first seen with Donald Trump, she did get criticized. But when Kim Kardashian actually delivered and was able to convince Trump to start pardoning people, and she was delivering tangibles, people was like, oh, Kim, keep doing it. So if you're able to work with the Trump administration and deliver tangibles, nobody's going to say anything. If you allow yourself to be played like a cardboard cutout 2 or 3 weeks before the election, and you ain't coming home with no equity policy intangibles, then you got exploited, and people are right to say so, like with Ice Cube.
Totally disagree with that. I totally disagree with that because I don't think you got exploited at all. Now, I know what he said on Roland Martin's show, but that's for you Negroes who don't pay attention to appease you Negroes. He did exactly what he's supposed to do.
Okay.
Period. From my perspective, he did exactly what he's supposed to do. Somebody want to meet with you who's in power versus somebody who's not in power saying meet with us after the election. You need to tell me what you're going to do before you get my vote on election day. Period. If I'm in a position to get meetings and you're going to tell me wait till after the election and one side's telling me, oh, we can meet right now. And they want to spend that meeting however they want to spend it, they can do that.
Right.
That's not exploiting me. That's them playing politics. And then you got the undercurrent of folks who can't get no meeting, like if I'm Ice Cube, saying, oh, you got exploited. That's like telling somebody, oh, hey, you my friend. You see that friend over there? Don't talk to him. He's not your friend because I don't want you to be his friend. Like, he's supposed to go talk to Republicans. People were killing him for meeting with Republicans. I mean, I was watching the comments on Roland Martin's show, too. They were killing him for even getting the meeting. And to me, it's like, y'all stupid. Y'all already got your mind made up that y'all Democrats. So Q and the Democrats play him because they already know we got 90% of the black vote. We really ain't even got to meet with Q. Republicans know they got to meet with Q. They took the meeting. How does Ice Cube get killed for that? He's getting the meetings. People, man, they ain't getting meetings. I seen the one chick from Black Lives Matter who was on there, Roland's show, who was trying to say, I wish I had your platform, Ice Cube. Well, don't be envious. You know what I'm saying? That she was sounding to me like she was jealous that Ice Cube got a meeting and she didn't. And those are the folks I'm really talking to, the folks who are fake jealous on here. That Ice Cube got the power to get these meetings. So, you don't meet with the Republicans. He's supposed to meet with them.
Okay.
On any day they want to meet. That's how I view it. Okay. I don't view him in any negative light. But the folks who are trying out here killing him, saying he got exploited, I think they're wrong.
Yeah, he got exploited. Let me break this down.
Nah.
He got exploited all day long. Let's break this down. Why? And again, two things can be true at the same time. Your brethren, Fame Rothstein, likes to say that, and he's right about that. So do I think that Ice Cube has good intentions? To this point, I don't see anything that would tell me otherwise. I take the brother for his word. I think he was watching TV like a lot of us, and he saw what happened with George Floyd and in this country, and he decided, you know what, I'm Ice Cube. I got a platform. I'm going to do something about it. So we got with some people and started making a contract with Black America. I think his intentions are pure. That doesn't mean that he didn't get exploited. Here's why I say he got exploited. And you tell me whether my logic is off here. So you say it's okay to take a meeting. Okay. So out of this meeting in which Ice Cube met with the Trump campaign, and allegedly the Trump campaign was going to take some of the bullet points from the contract with Black America and put it on the platinum plan, right? I want to make sure we're clear on that. Do we both agree that that's what was allegedly supposed to have happened?
That's what Trump people claimed.
That's what Ice Cube said on Roland Martin. He said that he reached out to everybody in the Trump campaign, met with him and said, listen, we like some of your ideas. We want to take some of your bullet points and put it on our plan. That's what he said. So we'll take it. That's the facts right there. So they had this conversation, and allegedly there was a meeting and there was a sharing of ideas. And then Katrina Pearson and a black dude that works in the Trump campaign, I can't recall his name. First, the black dude went out and put it out. Then Katrina Pearson put it out on social media and told everybody, hey, thank you, Ice Cube. Thank you for helping us with the platinum plan. Now, you know how this works. To me, and tell me what you think, that's tens of millions of dollars of free campaign positive press by being able to connect yourself and your plan to Ice Cube. Would you agree with that?
If you can connect it, yeah.
Okay.
If you can make the connection, you get publicity because Ice Cube has a following.
Let me walk this through logically, Black Russia, because so far we 2 for 2, okay? So we both agree that out of this meeting of the minds, that the Trump campaign got tens of millions of free positive press by connecting themselves to Ice Cube. So here's my question to you, brother.
We might say millions. I don't know about tens of millions. We're guesstimating here. I mean, we're shooting a number out.
We're shooting numbers.
They got publicity for sure. They got publicity.
We'll say millions of dollars, okay? So here's
I think that's fair. I think that's good.
Here's my question for you. What did Ice Cube get out of it? And what did we as black people get out of it?
Overall?
No, right now.
I think we got, here, I'm going to tell you. I think what we ended up getting was a conversation about who's going to actually meet with us and who ain't interested in meeting with us, if anything. Now, you want to talk about tangibles? The stuff that Ice Cube was talking about as it relates to his plan that supposedly Trump was adopting, That's not some stuff that can be done tomorrow because we got divided government. So if we looked at this conversation 6 to 12 months from now, let's say Trump was still in there and the platinum plan got passed and they give Ice Cube credit for that, then you got something out of that. But I don't think we can really gauge that right now with divided government because the Democrats run the House. The Senate is run by Republicans. We got a Republican president. I just think it's too early to say he got exploited. The politicians are going to do what they do. That's all I'm saying. The Democrats could have met with Ice Cube and did the same thing. They could have had,
but they didn't.
What's my girl's name that runs Biden's campaign? The black chick. She could have did the same thing. I said we were Ice Cube. He got to adjust to Biden's Black Plan with America, but they chose not to meet with him, so they didn't get the chance to break even. That's a political loss on the Democrats' end. They ain't got nothing to do with Ice Cube.
No, it's got everything to do with Ice Cube. And I think that we've agreed. So the Trump campaign, 2 to 3 weeks before a very critical election where Trump is trailing in all the polls and he desperately needs black people to do one or two things for him to be reelected, to either vote for him or to get so dissatisfied with the Democrats that they don't vote at all. Either one of those things help Trump. And this whole interaction with Ice Cube right now helps Trump's campaign, but black folks got to wait for 6 or 7 months. Ice Cube can't even tell you where it is that his plan is in the platinum plan, and that's not exploitation?
You really think that meeting moved the needle anyway for Donald Trump one way or the other? You really think that moved the percentage point or two for Donald Trump?
Absolutely.
I don't think so.
Absolutely. Let me tell you how it helped.
I thought the Democrats lost an opportunity to meet with an African American black celebrity. I guarantee if George Clooney would have called, they would have took George Clooney's call. But Ice Cube, that's what I'm saying. Like this is undertones of us, being crabs in a barrel, kind of like we don't feel like we're good enough to meet with these folks.
No.
And we shouldn't question the Democrats when they don't want to meet with us, or we should question the Republicans when they do. But if George Clooney was in this position, I guarantee you, number one, Democrats would have took that meeting, and number two, wouldn't nobody say a damn thing about it.
No. What this is evidence of is a well-intentioned celebrity named Ice Cube that was in too deep at the wrong time. I've heard you say yourself, politics is all about what? Timing. And here we are 2 or 3 weeks before an election. The Trump campaign does not have the time nor the power to seriously implement anything in Ice Cube's plan. They don't have no time or power for that. You just described it yourself, divided government, 3 weeks before an election. The only reason why they met with this brother was to exploit him for their own campaign goals. And I think it will.
So why did the Democrats not? So why didn't the Democrats meet with Ice Cube then? Let's go to the other side. Why didn't the Democrats meet with Ice Cube?
Because
they're so thoughtful, they're so nice to us. They really have our best intentions in mind. We don't want to meet with you, Ice Cube. We already know what black people need. We'll talk to you after the election.
I cannot.
It's this down talking from the Democrats that's what turned black men off. Like you're gonna talk down to us. You're gonna tell us what we need. No, we'll meet with you later. All that type of stuff. I've experienced that in real time from the Democratic Party locally. So like that's what I'm saying. When Marcus called in, he was a Democratic precinct executive. I was too. We'd have been in this game. And I can tell you right now, that's how the Democrats treat black men, like subservience. And so I feel that Ice Cube did what he's supposed to do with a black man. You got influence, you got power. Man, you take every beating you can, bro. Don't tell me talk to you later. What?
And it would have been a smarter play. It would have been a smarter play all the way around if he waited until, sometimes you can wait to the wrong moment. This is the wrong moment for Ice Cube to allow himself to be exploited, and you said it yourself, and get nothing out of it. He didn't get nothing out of it, and we as black people who he's supposed to be trying to represent.
I didn't say he didn't get anything out of it. I said we got a conversation as of right now because we still got time to go. We got a conversation about how the Democratic Party treats African American men. And you know that to be true because Roland Martin even talked about that last week too, about how the Democrats miss opportunities with black men all the time.
Yeah.
By trying to talk to us about what we need, like they are moms or something.
I hear you, but as you said yourself, the Trump administration got millions, and I would say tens of millions of dollars of positive campaign ads. They didn't even have to go to black media to
we
get
agree
all
on
this
that,
positive
but I'm saying Democrats could have had the same thing, but they think they already got the black folks in the bag.
Black Russia, I know I'm wrong. Let me finish it. All right, and I'll give it back to you. By your own admission, right here, right now, before the election, when it all matters, the Trump campaign is spending hundreds of millions of dollars around the country right now to influence the election. And right now, by your own admission, they got millions of dollars of free positive press and a very critical demographic, that's black folks, because they can go out and say that we talked to Ice Cube. On the other hand, Ice Cube himself can't even look at the platinum plan and tell us what of his plan is in the platinum plan. And black folks have got nothing whatsoever. If that's not getting played,
that ain't for
if
Ice
that's
Cube to
not
explain.
getting played, if that's not getting exploited, then I don't know what it is.
All right, Nathan Ivey, I'll holler at you, bro.
Thank you for the call. Appreciate it. If that's not the essence of getting played, quid pro quo means you get something and I get something. This wasn't quid pro quo. This was a one-way transaction. The very thing that everybody says they don't like about the relationship with the Democrat Party is exactly what Ice Cube just did with Trump. A one-way transaction. Trump's out here like, yeah, we're working with Ice Cube. Look at us. I told you we'll talk. Talking with somebody is not the same as implementing policies. That's number one. Black people so desperate for recognition that some of y'all think that just because Trump, and it wasn't even Trump, Ice Cube himself said, I never talked to Trump. It was some of his campaign, not his legislative aides, but campaign aides. Their job is to get Trump reelected, not put policy in place 3 weeks before an election. But some black folks is so thirsty for any recognition that y'all think that because Trump's campaign aides talk to Ice Cube via a Zoom, y'all think that's the same as actually implementing policy? Please stop. It's not the same. And when it comes to implementing policy, you got to have an infrastructure. It takes more. If all it took was a celebrity to say a couple things, then the world would be a better place tomorrow. You got to build in grassroots infrastructure that will implement the policies. That's what Alicia Garza was trying to tell, and also Roland Martin was trying to tell Ice Cube, like, brother, that's great. You're a big time celebrity and you can jump to the front of the line and get on CNN, but they're not going to implement a policy just because they sit down and talk with you. That's not how that works. Where's the grassroots warriors? The people at the state level, the people on the ground level that's going to implement it. That's what's going to get the work done. So I get it. Some black people are so thirsty. We so starved for attention that because Massa, Trump, said, yeah, you can come to the big house. Not even came. You can Zoom call to my aides in the big house. That means something. Why is it going to work, Black Russia? It's going to work because think about what people are saying right now. People are going to say, well, at least a Democrat or at least a Republican said they're going to talk to him. Look, the plot when it comes to black voters as it relates to the Trump campaign is to either get you to be one of them or at the very least not be one of Joe Biden's supporters. They want you to either vote for Trump or don't vote at all, and they don't care whichever it is. That's why they reached out to Ice Cube. Straight exploitation, straight misinformation. It's a disinformation campaign, and it just runs itself. Like I told you folks, man, the Russians were so smart. They used black people's own dissatisfaction with America against us. If you're trying to convince somebody of something, it's far easier to push them in a direction that they're already facing rather than trying to turn them around and do a 180. And this whole Ice Cube thing kind of does that. Oh, they said they wouldn't even go meet with him. They wouldn't even talk to him. That's not what they said. What they said from Ice Cube's mouth, and I wasn't on the call, but what Ice Cube said is they said, you know what? We like 85% of this. Being honest with you. But right now we got a campaign going on. So rather than just give you lip service and make it seem like we working together, let's see if Joe Biden actually wins. Because Joe Biden is a private citizen right now. Let's see if he actually wins. And if he wins, then we can talk. Again, don't get me in a position where it comes across like I'm trying to cape for one of the two parties, because that's not what I'm doing. I'm looking at it logically. Logically speaking, doesn't that make more sense? To me, it does. But let me go back to the phones here. Hey, good morning. Welcome to the show.
Good morning, Mr. Ivey. It's Ball here. How you doing?
Hey,
brother?
what's up, Ballhead? Welcome, man.
I'm all right. I'm all right. I tried to hold back from calling this morning, but I heard so much false information. I had to call in and say a few things. First of all, as black folks, we gotta learn how to we gotta learn how to take constructive criticism and learn from it and move on. You know, you ain't say nothing wrong about Ice Cube. It was just a timing thing, brother. That's all it was. We in the middle of an election. That's all it is. And you said something that I was gonna call and say, but you said it, but I'm gonna say it again anyway. He never met with anybody. He admitted that. He met with some of Trump's campaign people, which is fine. Or I guess you want to say that's fine, but he never met anyone in the administration. He never met Trump himself. And he said that himself. He never met Trump a day in his life. So we can't keep saying that everybody's coming down on Ice Cube. He's a good brother, successful, but it just comes down to a timing thing, And like you said, they exploited it. They did. The first thing old girl did was run to Twitter. We working with Ice Cube. To try to sway the black vote. For me, that's what it was. And which is a shame, but we should allow ourselves to do that. But hey, it is what it is. He tried to do something right, and I appreciate it, but it's a timing thing. That's all it boils down to. And another brother called in, and I think it was the angry black Republican. He said a couple things about the CBC. Trump refused to meet with the CBC. It wasn't the CBC refused to meet with them. That was just a lie right there. I don't know why conservatives call in and with these facts that just not. I'm not saying all of them do, but a lot of the stuff is just not factual. It's not fact. They just talking out the side of their mouth, just like Trump be doing. I would say they lies, but I don't know. But just do your research. And you got to, Ice Cube went on Roland Martin, and you got to, when you go to Roland Martin, you got to have you got to have your stuff together, or he gonna bring it to you. It's just as plain and simple as that. When that brother said, pull it up on my iPad, you better be prepared for some facts and be able to back it up, because he's gonna bring it to you real quick. So that's all I had to say, Mr. Ivey. You can comment on what I had to say or whatever, but I just had to get a few things. Now, there's much more, but I'm not going to hold you long this morning.
I appreciate it. Take it easy, man.
Yeah.
Yeah, most def. Yeah, what he said. Yeah, I mean, ain't anybody trying to hurt Ice Cube or say nothing negative. I mean, the brother's very entertaining. He's a great entertainer, all those kind of great things. I mean, I've got nothing negative to say about the brother. You know what I'm saying? We still haven't gotten to Umar Johnson. I got to play that for you this morning because Umar Johnson got involved. He got involved this morning. We've been talking about Ice Cube and trying to catch up a little bit. I haven't even gotten to, what I intended to this morning, but sometimes that's the nature of a show. Let me take a quick break, a very quick break. We'll come right back. I've got the Bloomberg Urban Report for you, so some black business news, a word from our sponsor, and then a word on how you can help join the mission to build and amplify black voices in the greater Cincinnati area and beyond. I'm Nathan Ivey. This is the Nathan Ivey Show, and we'll be right back.
The Nathan Ivey Show is supported by listeners. Go to www.patreon.com/Nathan Ivey Show and help Nathan keep the show independent.
With the Bloomberg Black Business Report, I'm Donna Wilson. Black-owned businesses generate billions of dollars for the U.S. economy annually and create thousands of jobs. But as critical federal coronavirus relief aid remains stalled, a new poll from Color of Change and Main Street Alliance reveals some Black-owned small businesses are facing some tough times. The The poll indicates some Black small businesses are on the brink of annihilation, with 46% being forced to close or plan to close within the next 6 months. The Chamber of Commerce and a group of more than 150 companies are urging the president to withdraw an executive order barring federal contractors from using certain diversity and inclusion training. And One United Bank, the country's largest Black-owned bank, reached a new milestone. It now has 100,000 customers at over 100,000 locations nationwide. That's your Bloomberg Black Business Report. I'm Donna Wilson.
Jill Schiller has been missing in action, and now we know why. Did you know that Jill Schiller, candidate for Hamilton County Treasurer, got away with a dangerous offense? Her friends and connections at Cincinnati City Hall turned their heads when she was racing through a Cincinnati public school zone doing 52 in a 20-mile-an-hour zone. She could have killed a child. As a mother of 3, that's concerning. 25,000 children are injured each year because of speeding in a school zone. 100 children are killed in school zones each year by people like Schiller. Schiller should have served 5 days in jail as the law states, but being privileged kept her out while you, the public, would have gone to jail. Her friends and connections at City Hall only fined her $60, and they quickly destroyed the evidence the next day. We cannot trust Schiller with our school children. Should we trust her to protect and safeguard our tax dollars? Vote for Charlie Winburn for Hamilton County Treasurer. We can trust him to safeguard our tax dollars and our children.
Paid for by friends of Charlie Winburn.
You're listening to the Nathan Ivey Show. One man, one microphone, one mission. Now let's get back to the flow.
Remember, family, no one is to blame for your future situation but yourself. If you want to become successful, then become successful. Welcome back. I don't care about these white supremacists. Don't let these suckers get you down. There's nothing that's impossible. Impossible is an opinion. Remember that. Nothing is impossible. It's just somebody's opinion about what they think you can do. It really is the projection of the boundaries that they see in their own life, really. Welcome back to you. 513-873-7134. Nobody can tell me that we're not going to be successful with CDM, that's Sin Digital Media. I don't care what nobody says and what nobody thinks. I'm 100% focused on our mission to amplify Black voices. You can join our mission by, well, a lot of ways. I mean, many of you are already a part of it by listening to the show on a regular basis and sharing the show on a regular basis. That means everything, family. I cannot underscore how important that is enough. And as we all know, whenever you're building anything, especially a media platform, it takes resources. For as little as $2 per month, you can join in that mission and help us build a platform that will amplify Black voices, marginalized voices in the greater Cincinnati area and beyond. Good morning to you. All right, you've got me. I've got a hard stop. Typically, I can go over 10 a.m. this morning, but I cannot. As I said, my son is in virtual learning. I want to give you a heads up. Coming up today at 12:30 p.m., Donnie B and myself are going to be teaming up for a conversation with the Cincinnati Public Schools Superintendent, Laura Mitchell. You may have a child that attends CPS schools, and we'll get her thoughts on the latest as it relates to COVID-19, digital learning, in-learning options. If you've got questions, please find that stream today at 12:30 p.m. We'll be going live on Facebook, Sin Digital Media. Okay, please share it when you see it if you're inclined to do so. Good morning to you. All right, man. No, I haven't had any comments in this morning. It's been 100% just about the phone calls. I appreciate a lot of voices this morning. You know, even some I won't say new voices, but these are some newer voices, people who are finding the show and calling in. I appreciate it. I want to play this clip, man, of Dr. Umar Johnson real quick. You can find this on World Star. There is some language involved. I'll give you a heads up. There is some language involved. See, we're getting a call right now. If it's a choice between your calls and my flow, then I'll take your phone calls. Again, your thoughts are the currency of the show. Let's see who's on the line. Hey, good morning. Welcome to the show.
Good morning.
Hey, welcome.
Hi, Nathan. This is A. Shula Israel. How are you?
Hey, I'm doing great. I'm good. Hey, Shuli, welcome. Welcome.
A. Shula.
Hey, Shula.
S-H-U-L-A.
Hey,
Yeah.
how you doing?
I'm doing okay. I'm doing all right. I'm calling in, because it seems like it may be a little bit easier for you to hear a female's voice who has an alternative view than yours. You know, I know who sent the text. All you had to do was look at the other text. I was sitting in the room and watching live, listening and watching live. When my husband called in to try to clarify what it was that you were trying to somehow muddy what he was saying. It may be an inconvenient truth to Black Democrats or to anybody who has their heart so tied to the, presidential election, or has the fact is, it's an inconvenient truth. But if Ice Cube had met with Biden's campaign, no one would be calling it exploitation.
I would.
There wouldn't be any need for additional interviews, any need to go on Cuomo, nothing. People might be bigging them up, saying, good job. But this is the chop shop. This is where, men can be men. But when men have alternative views than the host, it turns into a bash party.
I never bashed him.
No, you did bash him.
I didn't.
You said that he needs to go kick himself. He needs to go kick himself in the ASS. See, I don't curse, so we don't call into your show cursing and acting like a heathen and giving you base perspective, though.
Ashula, that is not what I said.
So
that's not what I said.
That is what
I said is that I on Friday after he called in, what I said is the brother was like all over the place, and he was all over the place. He didn't make a lot of sense. He was asking me questions that he had already answered in his previous flow. Let me get it all out.
He wasn't making sense to you.
Well, that's who he's talking to. He's talking to
or maybe to, and when he tried to help you understand what it was that he was saying regarding what exploitation is, instead of you taking it as exploitation.
But he was dead wrong, Ashula. We can't.
No, but so sacrifice is different than exploitation.
Yeah.
Sacrifice for a greater purpose is different from exploitation.
Yeah, but
if you know that you're going in and you might be slayed by the wolves, but in the end your people might get something out of it. That's different than exploitation.
But we didn't get anything out of it, and Ice Cube got exploited. And
the reason why what have you gotten out of either side?
That's not the question.
Why do you cape for either side so hard?
Caping for either side. So let me go back so I can properly define what happened. So when he was on the phone call and he was talking all over the place and not making sense, when he got off the call, I started reading messages and people was going hard at him. And I said, I'm not going to do that.
You read, let me say something. You read the messages of your female viewers on Facebook. You read the message of your female viewers on Facebook. And the balance is off. The balance is off, brother.
We can talk about the balance.
The balance
later,
is off.
Shula, can I finish this point? And then I'll give it back to you and you can say whatever you got to say and we can have a conversation. But I want to make sure that people understand what actually happened on Friday. So to picking back up where I was. So I started reading some comments and a lot of the comments were not so nice toward Cam. And I said, I'm not going to do that. I don't look at the brother like that. He's a good brother. I've had interactions with the brother. We just disagree. I said it over and over again. We just disagree. And then because in my opinion, he was talking all over the place and not making sense, I said that he's going to kick himself in the ass when he listens to it later, thinking like, you know what? Nate was right. And he was trying to tell me. That's the context in which I made that comment. And if this happened with Joe Biden the exact same way as it happened with Ice Cube, I'd say the exact same thing, that Ice Cube got exploited by the Biden campaign. It makes no difference to me whether it's Democrats or
nobody would, because that's the expectation. The expectation is Stockholm syndrome. The expectation from our people is Stockholm syndrome.
I don't understand what you mean. I know what Stockholm syndrome
Okay.
is, but I don't understand how that
You
applies
do.
to this.
So the expectation is that we just continue to stick with the people that's not doing anything for us. Stick with the people that actually continue to lead us down this rabbit hole of nothingness. And I'm not saying that Republican or Democrat is better. I'm just saying there's nothing wrong with going in and having a conversation with somebody who wants to talk to you, who at least want to make it look like they care.
Make it look like they care sounds like some fake issue.
Yeah.
That sounds like some
No,
issue.
but let me tell you, and so exploitation is this. Exploitation is really what the Biden campaign did. If you vote for us, you get your people to vote for us, then we can talk. That's exploitation.
Huh? That's not what was said. Ice Cube didn't report that.
Okay.
That's not what Ice Cube
No,
said.
but he did say that the Biden campaign was like, we agree with 85% of what you said. Okay. But we're not even going to talk to you about it, and we're not going to bring it up until we win the election. Right. So let's not talk about it to get more black votes. Let's not talk about it to have people hold us accountable for what we have talked about. Because
Ashula, do you think
we know we got your vote?
That's one way of looking at it. I mean, that's how you look at it. I respect
that's
that.
The truth.
That's
the truth.
Because I look at it differently. So you telling me what can be done in 3 weeks? There's a presidential campaign going on. Are you telling me that in 3 weeks that either of the party, whether it's the Democrats or the Republicans, now Trump is more in a position because he's the current president to try to make something happen. But are you telling me that in 3 weeks while he's campaigning all over the country, that he's going to stop that to start the legislative process, which really don't even start with him. It starts with in Congress to implement Ice Cube's plan. Or was it really about going to the media to say that we talked to Ice Cube because that's valuable right before an election and really do nothing about it?
I'm not telling you any of that. What I'm telling you is that Cam and I have supported your show and offered truth to you and your listeners from an elevated perspective. And so what I noticed that you did was that you focused on the rod removal portion of the definition of a eunuch, but not the second portion regarding the service, the protection of other men's women and the protection of women, which is the reason the rod is removed in the first place. So like I said, the balance is off. You got Donnie B, you got Dope Chicks, you got Ballet, you got Ashley. Now you're looking for a female relationship expert, whether that's going to have a male part to it too, I don't know. But bragging about the vasectomy and bragging about, it may seem convenient to you, but it may also play a part in why you always taking the side of the female perspective instead of the male perspective that's alternate than yours. So we don't call and speak to you in the chop shop like heathens, but again, as Israelite brethren and sisters, not ignorant, not cursing, not defiling you, not defiling your listeners, not uninformed,
let's be real here, Ashula.
But from an elevated viewpoint.
It wasn't from an elevated viewpoint when he called in, because the brother was not being respectful to my time.
But he wasn't the only one who had that view.
It's not about the view.
And because you didn't understand how he was trying to explain it to you.
If you go back and listen to that, the brother was your husband was trying to talk over me. I stopped several times to say, hey, man, let's make sure everybody can listen, right? He was so caught up in his viewpoint, so caught up in what he said that he going to talk underneath me. He going to talk over me. That's not elevated and that ain't respectful. I'm just saying, if we're going to keep it all the way real.
Again, this is not just my perspective. It's the perspective of most of the callers that have an alternate viewpoint than yours. You try to switch and bait and switch what it is that they're talking about when they hang up, and we're not the only people who know this.
Okay, Ashula. The other thing is that I did not know that your husband had sent the text message. I honestly was like, who is this? I was caught off guard because I thought that they were defining themselves as the emasculated eunuch. I'm like, it didn't even make no sense to me.
No, but now that I've explained it to you what it is,
it still don't make sense.
I hope that you understand.
It still
don't. That's if you don't understand what I just laid out. I just laid out the whole blueprint for you, brother. If you don't still understand what that was saying,
I don't. And I don't understand why Cam
it's true.
Send me a text message or a direct message. We communicate in that fashion all the time. So if he was feeling that way, why didn't he just send me a text message? We communicate on Facebook all the time. So why?
You communicate via text message, inboxing, and however you communicate. So that's why I'm saying you knew who it was from.
I did not know who it was,
and you tried to act like you didn't know who it was from.
I don't have to try to act like, because if I wanted to say it was Cam, I would have just said that. Cam and I usually converse via Facebook. It's very rare for us to communicate during text messages. His text message is not linked to his Facebook on my phone. It's just a number that comes up. So I had no idea. Had he said, hey, Nate, this is Cam, then I would have known. But I don't know who the emasculated eunuch is. I don't have no idea.
No, that was the truth part is who sent you. You asked who it was, and they told you it was true.
Right. The truth be told. And how do I know that's Cam?
Right.
How do I know that's Cam?
Because that's who offers you truth all the time.
Oh, okay. Well, like I said, for me, there was no way for me to put the two together. What the brother should have done is communicate across the lines that we usually do, which is usually on Facebook direct message, and I would have known. If it was a sincere communication, that's what he would have done.
So you didn't get the text message from him before, just the day before, via his cell phone? Because you're playing.
I don't remember that, no. And like I said, just a number comes up. It's not anybody's name or anything like that.
All right. Yeah. Thank you. The response, thank you, Brother Cam. Okay.
All right.
All right.
I appreciate you. Thank you for the call.
I hope you do.
I do. I just said it. If I didn't, I wouldn't say it. I mean, like I said, I guess I'm going to get into that realm that she said that when people hang up, but I stand by everything I said. We got to stay out our feelings. It's just that simple. Okay. So a little bit more time. Okay. So it looks like I got a little bit more time. I thought I had a hard stop at 10 a.m. So it looked like I can stay until 10:30 a.m. this morning. So that's a good thing because, I am a family man and I do have to make sure the household is that I'm doing what I need to do for my son and the wifey. But I'm glad she called in. I could tell that it was some hurt feelings over this. And, what I would say to you is a couple things, because there was a lot of things. Really kind of listening to that, there was a lot to unpack there. What I would say to Cam out of respect, for that brother is, my intention was not in any way to be disrespectful or anything like that. That was my intent. I say that for the true enemies of our community. That's who gets that fire from me. I don't need to get that to a brother that I disagree with. We just disagreeing over a talk radio show. It's not that serious. Whatever fire I have, I say that for the real enemies and threats to our families, period. But I stand by everything I said. If you want to communicate something to me, like I said, I got 2 brothers and 2 sisters. Okay. When I want to communicate something to them, then I call them and I tell them. I don't send them subliminal messages. I don't send smoke signals, and I don't send text messages and sign it with, my rap name or some other name. When I'm trying to communicate something to somebody that I care about or I really sincerely want them to get it, then I tell them straight from my account. That's just what I do. And that's how I take it. If somebody wants to communicate something to me and it's sincere, then call me and tell me or send me a message. But what you shouldn't do is send me a text message. I'm sorry, I don't have his name linked to his number. Okay. And it's like that for a lot of people, quite honestly. And for whatever reason. But if we normally communicate via text, or via Facebook, most people have either a Facebook name or a business account or something like that. And I'm like, okay, I can match it up. I know who that is. Other than that, you subject to be, I don't know how to take it. I'm not going to spend a lot of time trying to figure it out. I'm just going to move on. And, even in this text message, I think I was quite cordial. I mean, for me to get a text out of the blue on a Saturday morning, and we got a 290 number, please hold on, I'm coming straight to you. But for me to get a text message out of the blue, let me find it again here. For me to get a text message out of the blue, I think I was on a Saturday morning at 9:47 a.m. You know what I'm doing this Saturday morning? I'm chilling. I'm with the fam. I'm doing something fun at 9:47 a.m. That's some family time. You know what I'm saying? For me to get a text message like this, I think that I handle it very, very well. I'm gonna give myself an A. I'm gonna do the Donald Trump and give myself an A. So I got a message that read, "You hung up on me, showed no love, done with your wax show, bro. Meet the emasculated eunuch." I responded, "Who is this?" Sounds like I didn't know. The response was, "Truth be told is," let me say it right. "Truth be told is who it is," right? And I responded, "Okay, sorry, I don't recognize that name. Have a good day." Sounds to me like at 9:47 a.m. on a Saturday, I didn't know who it was. That's not the first kind of off-the-wall text message I've gotten before. I've got off-the-wall phone calls. I don't spend a lot of time on it. People be out here on that goofball-ish. I just move on with the day, man. Like I told you, I'm lucky to be here. I don't spend a lot of time on dumb-ish. Not saying that Cam, and anyway, I have a lot of respect for Cam and Ashula, but I don't have a lot of time for dumb-ish that's not connected to anybody that I know or anything like that. I'm not going to spend a lot of time on it. I'll tell you, whoever's listening, you send me some dumb-ish like that, and I don't know who it is, I'm going to respond the same way. Hit you with that cordiality, hey, have a good day, and move on. It's a Saturday. If you want to communicate something to me, just send me a message from an account that's our usual pathway of connecting, and I'll respond. If you send me a text message at 9:47 a.m. and talking like you truth be told, I'm going to spend that much time on it and move on with my day. I got a 5-year-old kid. I'm going to give him that time. He's bouncing off the walls in the morning. I ain't going to spend no time on that and won't in the future. It is what it is. So as it relates, I got to clear some of this up here. As it relates to working with black females, I mean, do we or do we not respect the power of black female voices? See, the difference between me and a lot of people is a lot of people talk-ish, but I mean what I say, period. When I say that black female voices are marginalized and thrown to the side in Cincinnati, I mean it. When I say that we're going to amplify black voices, I mean it. I'm not just talking-ish because I think it sounds good. I mean it. And, I take talent the way it comes. It's as simple as that. I've said it many times. I've reached out to black men as well. I mean, sometimes, those kind of conversations will end in a show. Sometimes they don't. Oh, well, you got to rock with who wants to rock with you. Simple as that. So let this be yet another, I put another flare out there for black men. If you are a black male, talented, creative in the greater Cincinnati area, and you want to do a podcast or a live stream, let's do it. Let's do it. But I'm not going to turn away talented black female voices because somebody don't like it or somebody might read into it. You either watch the shows or you don't. Simple as that. It's real simple. You know what I'm saying? I mean, what do you want me to do? What you want me to do about it? Stop doing it, please. Either get on board or we just keep on going. So I feel very highly and think very highly about all of the black females that we are currently working with CDM. I think very highly about each and every show and, what they bring to the overall digital landscape. And I'll say it again. I meant what I said. When I say that black female voices are marginalized in Cincinnati, I mean it. 100%. And people can read into that whatever you want to be. All I know is this, is that today at 12:30, Donnie B and I will be speaking with the superintendent of the school board. I'm sorry, of the Cincinnati schools, Laura Mitchell, another black female. So I'll be talking with 2 black females today, right? And, if you're someone who's interested in what's going on, if you have a child in CPS or somehow you're connected, please tune into that show. And already that promo is up on our Facebook page. Please like and share it. That's all I know. I'm committed to the task at hand. And I can't concern myself with every little person's feelings. It is what it is. Like I said, I almost died on February 2nd. Do you think I'm going to spend a lot of time on it? I'm not. It is what it is, man. I just keep telling people, you're talking to a man who probably, man, I'm lucky to be here. Do you think I'm going to spend a lot of time trying to figure out the riddles in a text message? I'm not going to do it. I'm not going to do it tomorrow. I'm not going to do it today. It's just not going to happen. All right. If you want to communicate, let's communicate. I'm not going to spend a lot of time talking in circles with nobody in this world. I'm just not going to do it about any topic. You know what I'm saying? I'm very straight and direct because I don't have a lot of time. You know what I'm saying? All this pulling around and going around the corner and then I'm going to shout it to you. I'm not going to send no smoke signals. I ain't doing none of that. I'm going to tell you exactly what it is. And if we can rock, we can rock. And if we can't, have a good day. Just like I told, or truth be told, that's what I got for you. And that's it. So it is what it is. Let me see here. I think we still got a call on the line. Yeah, let me go straight to it. We got a 290 number. Thank you so much for holding as I got all of that in. Welcome to the show.
Good morning, Nate. This is Steve Wizzle. Good morning. Good morning.
Hey, good morning to you, D. Wizzle. Welcome to the show.
I'm flabbergasted myself. It just, to me, man, I had to call in. I'm like, because first off, I don't see you being one-sided of anything. I think you come straight. I think you're true about your flow and your whole game. And to me, you're not in the business to alienate anybody. You do what most people don't do, Nathan. You accept the talent as it comes to you. And that's true. But you do what most people won't do. You allow, how many male other podcast hosts have you allowed to be on your platform and potentially send business away from you? I mean, this is ridiculous, man. I just don't understand where these folks are coming from. I heard the conversation last week, and I'm thinking to myself, is this Cam of the Better Business or the Better Bus Coalition? I say, this can't be. I say, I thought to myself, and I consider myself true, and I respect, most of your callers that call in, but I'm thinking to myself, is he having like a Herman Cain moment with thoughts twirling in his mind? Because he just sounds crazy. It sounds ridiculous. I was hoping it wasn't Cam, just known publicly, but even this brother, I just think he's entitled to his opinion, and they should not attack you because you disagree with his opinion. I disagree with his opinion. And I don't even know the brother to try and dislike him or anything like that. I try to listen, on a neutral level and just take the information that comes. And sometimes you just have low information voters who just don't know the game. And I think Ice Cube played himself. I appreciate his effort. I appreciate everything he tried to do for Black people, but it's been said many a times that you cannot expect anybody to deviate from a major election that's going on. Ice Cube, man, he didn't even know who he talked to, and the chick who went on Twitter to blast him, that was nothing but exploitation, because they didn't promise him nothing. They sent him a mixed message that Roland Martin had to explain, like, dude, this $500 billion it's not for Black people. this was an annual program, and any white man's wife, when he switches his business, and her name is now a minority, along with all the other brown folks. So this is nothing that has been said to be directed to black people. So I just think people just really need to take a deep breath. I'm all for women standing up for their man and all that good stuff. I think that's good, but you can't just keep running down a wrong road, you know, and it's just crazy, man. And I hate you have to go through all that extent to explain yourself and your position. But, you know, I think you're a fair person, and then the attacks, you know, once again about the male and the balance and all that. Man, you have put so many males on your platform with other podcasts. I mean, come on, give me a break, you know. And, you know, the talent comes as it comes, and I think you're doing a great job. And I was just, man, I was just like, wow, this is crazy. So, you know, keep doing what you're doing. Oh, and Earl, I listened to that conversation last week. Now, if Charmaine has been on, she was on 33 years and then went away for at least 2.5 to 3 years. He says he's been on, this Earl Price, he's been on the Sheriff's Department about 35 years, and he said he was there before her. And I was just kind of doing the math, you know, I don't know if it's exact, but it seemed like she was there before him. So, I mean, but, you know, he just got caught in so many, you know, sort of untruths. You know, he just happened to be going by, and then this Bruce, you know, Trump Bauer asked him to get in the picture. He jumped in the picture. I mean, why would you jump in somebody's picture if you don't know them? And I mean, come on, it's not. That was all planned, and it's just a joke. Really talking about any of this crap, and as you say, 17 years they worked together. Now all of a sudden, 15 years ago, I got to complain about a punch on a mat that, you know, could be expected, and then you train an exercise. I'm an instructor myself, man. I teach in 3 different areas, and, you know, I'm law enforcement certified. I could teach police, security, and military, and just listening to his example was just crazy, man. But hey, I'm gonna let you go with that. I think I didn't talk around enough, but it's just very interesting. These calls that are coming in, but I find it entertaining. I enjoy it. So thanks for what you do, man.
All right, D Wizard, thanks for the call. I appreciate the kind words. Yeah, man, it is what it is. I mean, you can't. I learned a long time ago in this business that you can't make everybody happy. I don't try to make everybody happy. I try to do what I say I'm going to do. That's it. That makes you happy, great. But as I said many times before, my mission, there's a couple missions, but inform, engage, enlighten, and in some cases, enrage. You know, in the overall effort to inform, you know, the community, you know, sometimes you're going to have disagreements. I just hope that we don't have to be disagreeable about it, but it is what it is. Now, back to Earl Price. That brother, man. That brother, Earl Price. Earl Price. Man, that brother, like I said, I mean, just let him talk, and they'll tell you everything you need to know. And that's what we did with Earl Price. Just let him talk. And we got to the bottom of it. It was quite interesting, man. Earl, if you're listening, bro, you gonna look. You might listen to that and think, why did I think I could do better next time. It was not a good look for you, Earl, and it just wasn't a good look for you, man, as a man. And not a good look for Bruce Hoffbauer, who yabba dabba dude made all these excuses about not talking with the show. And of course he went on with LW, went on WLW, and did everything he can to, you know, come in face to face with your boy Nate Ivey. And I'm just a talk show host, just want to talk. Just want to ask you some questions like, why'd you kill that unarmed black man back in the 1990s? You know, real simple. Somebody writes, Umar is a fraud. Dale writes, Nate, smart dumb cat is so appropriate. Woody writes, hey, communist ICE didn't meet with Don the Khan. I mean, y'all go hard. I'm not going to go hard Like I said, I mean, my true and honest feelings about Ice Cube, I've already told you. Good brother, I think well-intentioned. And Cleopatra writes, clapping my hands for Black Russia. Dale writes, she's not envious. This ain't no effing rap battle. TNT writes, so what did Trump do for Cube and the Black community? They didn't even implement any of his plan in the Trump Platinum plan, but they boasted that they met with Cube with no action of his plan. Played. Yeah, I mean, he got played. I think people they so in love with Ice. They love the movie. They love the NWA era. They love all the stuff he's done in terms of movies. I mean, I love Ice Cube and Triple X, that Vin Diesel, platform, you know what I'm saying? But one of those movies, Ice Cube played Triple X. He was dope in it too. He was in a movie called Ghost of Mars. I mean, listen, like I told you, I like Ice Cube. I like him as an entertainer and as an entrepreneur. The big three, I'm all about it. But in politics, I mean, no. And we as Black people cannot be so thirsty for acknowledgement that we think that taking a meeting means something. Oh, they met with him. They didn't even meet with him. They Zoom call with him. Oh, they Zoom call with him. He didn't even meet with Trump. He Zoom called with some people that when he was asked by Roland Martin, who did he meet? He was like, well, I met with this lady and can't recall her name. I think that Ice maybe didn't understand just the value of Ice and his public persona in this particular 2-3 runway, 2 to 3 week runway before we get to the election. He just underplayed that. He didn't understand how important that is. That's a real important thing to give to anybody 3 weeks before a presidential election, man. You gotta, if you're gonna do that and allow them to be able to go on Twitter and say, yeah, we working together. But something tells me Ice was just so starved for credibility. He was so starved to say, look, we got progress. We made some progress. That he ran with it like, and I get it from his standpoint. He's just thinking, I'm gonna meet with people, but you got to look at the big game of politics, Cube. In the big game of politics, timing matters. If this was 2 years ago, cool. You got 2 years to try to implement something. But we talking about 2 weeks before a presidential election. They're not going to implement anything in 2 weeks, except for a media strategy to capitalize off of saying that we know Ice Cube. Other than that, they're not going to implement anything. So, I mean, man, it's just not good. Millions, billions, who cares? The paper was flushed down the toilet. Lynn writes, Trump has no intention of implementing a platinum plan. He has moved on to suburban housewives begging for their vote. That's right. Derek writes, you can't tell yet. If you can't tell yet, that means that you ain't got nothing. I mean, where to do that at? The only place where we do that as consumers is maybe when you ordering something online with Amazon. But even then, you've got a reasonable expectation that your product is on the way. You go to the store, you go to your favorite restaurant, and you give them $25 to pay for you some food, right? Pay for your dinner. And they say, you know what? We'll send it to you in 6 weeks. It don't work that way. Only place we do that and accept it as consumers is Amazon. You go on Amazon, you pick your item, you put your number in, and they give you a tracking device so you can, and really that tracking device is what? It's about building consumer trust. That's the reason why they give you a tracking ability. And then you can go on the Amazon station. Oh, your package is near you. Oh, your package is en route. Cube didn't even get none of that with Trump. There's no tracking device on his so-called Zoom call meeting with the Trump campaign. So you got people out here making excuses like, oh, well, we'll see what happens in 6 months. Isn't that exactly what y'all say that the two parties have been doing to us? How is this any different? Get out of your feelings, Black people, and look at it. Is it equity? Is it policy? Or is it tangibles today? Not in 6 months, not in 9 months, not next year, but today. The answer is no. All right, let's see what Umar has to say. You got me for another 5 minutes. We might be able to get something out of this. Again, there could be extreme languages. I have not edited this. Okay, check this out.
Stand up for my brother Ice Cube. They dogging him out. Somebody told me Don Lemon came at Ice Cube. Roland Martin came at Ice Cube. I'm hearing that all these coons is coming at Ice Cube just because he has a plan that he wants to articulate to the current president of the United States. Joe Biden is not guaranteed to be the next president.
Can y'all hear this?
There's nothing wrong with Ice Cube sitting down with the current chief executive officer.
Okay, I'm not sure if y'all can hear this. I'm not sure if y'all can actually hear that. So basically, this is Dr. Umar Johnson saying that there's nothing wrong with Ice Cube sitting down with the current president. And I agree with you. You know, if that was the only context, if he was just sitting down with Donald Trump, and he didn't really sit down with Donald Trump, people keep getting that wrong. He sat down with a campaign advisor for Donald Trump, whose name he can't even remember. Ice Cube never met Donald Trump. He said it himself. I've never met Donald Trump. He sat down with a campaign advisor whose name he can't even remember, y'all. That's what happened. He can't remember the lady's name. So she couldn't have been that important. Then he says, well, you know what? We don't know if Biden's going to win. He's got to sit down with Trump right now. Ain't nothing wrong with sitting down, but does it have to be public until you get equity, policy, intangibles? How about we sit down and talk and we don't talk about it in the media until at least both parties get something out of it? I mean, is there any consideration whatsoever? I mean, again, this is coming from a man who don't believe in voting. I mean, did Umar change his stance? That's my problem with Umar. My problem with Umar is the man don't vote. Dr. Umar is a smart, dumb cat as far as I'm concerned. Now, he might have changed his stance here locally, recently, but any black man that's supposed to be smart and you out here telling people not to vote at all, that's like telling people not to drink water, just only eat food, or eat food but don't drink, or drink water but don't eat food. I mean, it's a part of the system that we live in. It's all a part of it. But now you want to weigh in. I'm not going to play the rest of it because I think there's something happened with the audio. I'm not sure if you can actually hear it, so I don't want to be playing audio and you can't really hear it this morning. Plus, I've only got 2 minutes and I got to make a move. Hey, good morning to you. Woody writes, LOL, Lord. He writes, Lord, help this misguided, brainwashed nut. Damon writes, because we crucified Kanye for talking to Trump and he helped free people. Did he? Genocide writes, I was also a precinct executive. I got a chance to watch that Kanye political ad. It's nice. It's inspiring. It really is. Damon writes, you are giving them the time now, 2 shows. I'm only watching because you are focusing solely on Trump, and I gotta hear my boy Graston go off. I'm not focusing either, or I'm focused on the context of the situation. Like, people want to make this situation with Ice Cube into something that fits their own viewpoint. And I'm just looking at it objectively for what it is. I'm not projecting anything. I'm just looking at it for what it is. What happened and what happened. That's it. TNT writes, Trump didn't even meet with Cube. His campaign staff did. Kanye met with Trump, wouldn't even meet with him if he respects him so much. Derek writes, but has he done what he said he would do? What Cube is putting into the works, quid pro quo. Sure he is, Damon. Sure he is. Quid pro quo means you get something, I get something. That's what quid pro quo means. Like, I give you something, and at the same time that I give you something, you give me something. That's not what happened here. Sister V writes, teach Nathan Ivey. TNT writes, thirsty. I got to make a move here. Yeah, 10:29 a.m. Damon writes, you are supposed to put policy in place before an election. Not 2 weeks before an election, because that's not enough time to put policy in place. And then secondly, if you're going to put policy in place, that means you got an infrastructure to back up the policy. And the president might say, hey, I've got some ideas, but it's really going to take Congress, right? And then secondly, don't you have to make sure, like, if you go to the president and say, listen, I want these policies in place, wouldn't it be prudent, smart to make sure or to do some homework to see if there's any other policies that are similar to yours that have already been proposed? Because that's what happened. He got exposed on Roland Martin. Some of the same stuff that Ice Cube was claiming, well, I don't know, ain't nobody ever said this before. The Congressional Black Caucus has already been working on and is sitting on Mitch McConnell's desk right now. I'm just saying. Listen, folks, that's my time. I got to make a move. It's got to be a hard stop because, well, as I said, I got to do my part. Have an excellent rest of your day. I'll be back with you later on today at 12:30 p.m. Donnie B and myself are going to have a conversation with the Cincinnati Public School Superintendent, Laura Mitchell. That's today at 12:30 p.m. And you can watch it live on Sin Digital Media. Have an excellent rest of your day, family. Remember, as I always say, winners focus on winning. And losers focus on winners. So stay focused and stay winning. And we'll talk real soon. I'm Nathan Ivey, and I'm out.